Oh my word! I think we're live in... Oh, that's good. Hold up. Source. We want the authentic 1080p resolution. We're getting buffering. Video buffering? Interesting. Yeah, why is it buffering? What the hell? Bizarre. Right, are we live, guys? Have we got chat? Oh, there's chat. Hey, chat. And you're seeing the wrong thing. Bam. Whoa, just in time. Oh, but the buffering. Are you guys getting buffering? Use low latency toggle under the advanced settings. There you go. Maybe they've got issues. Fingers crossed. And we need to switch it to that. No, that one. That one. Nice. And then we'll switch. Before we begin, I just want to say a massive shout out to Tobii Eye Tracking. They've sponsored coverage, so if you want a juicy discount and you want to find out more information about eye tracking, head tracking inside of many games, but for me, Star Citizen, check out the link in the description. Big shout out to Tobii for sponsoring the streams. They're awesome. Can we have a quick check audio that when I talk it goes down a little bit? That'd be great. Man, we are getting some buffering here. Anyone else getting buffering on the Twitch stream? Let me know. Also, are they streaming on YouTube? Because I might switch if they are. I don't think they are, though. Oh, I see my live stream. Star Citizen. I actually can't find their channel, that's weird. When you search Star Citizen, this is all my videos. Awkward. I don't want to find my own videos. Ryan, thank you for the $4.99. Hey, Ollie, you spent 100 mil I sent you yet when 3.2 came out? Not yet. I got lots of money. Just check, no YouTube. I am getting buffering. Okay, as long as it's everyone, not just me. That would be annoying if it was just me. Oh no, not Drake. Why would you show Drake? Welcome to the club, Alltech. Also, audio goes down when I talk, right? He just got told off. He got told off for that one. That's hilarious. Slightly. Okay. I think I had it a bit too much yesterday. Also, I'm going to do my best to not... I got a bit excited yesterday, so I was kind of talking too much, right? So I'm going to do better today, chat, okay? I'm going to do better. I'm going to enjoy the stream with you. I'm going to try and shut up a little bit. What does that say? I can't read it. Don't tell my boss I'm here. Love it. That's funny. Do a live stream in game and buy 50 redeemers for viewers and do a mission. That's expensive. Blimey, we got folks jumping in already. Hey chat. I'm actually pretty hyped. So what have we got today? We've got 2 minutes until the panel starts. First one. We've got character advancement, life in first person, taking flight, and then the big finale, the second half, is going to be a different stream. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that stream. We've got Living on the Edge, Destination Adventure, and Closing Ceremony. So I believe there's a freaking Care Bear. What is happening? We should be getting a lot of info today. I'm going to try and not get too excited because I think I ruined the stream. A lot of you guys are saying it was good, which I appreciate, but there was a lot of comments saying, I can't watch this. Ollie just keeps talking over the stream. So, I'll do my best to be good, well behaved. And is the audio a little better now? Alright, it goes down a little bit. I had a cheeseburger for lunch, it was delicious. Been watching me since GTA 5 vids back in the day. Damn. Crazy. GTA 6 soon, right? Lay off the apple juice today. Honestly, I was full on hyped yesterday. Yesterday's show was incredible. I think it was a little too technical for my apple.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the person who forgot to create himself an intro, Disco Lando!
I love how he's doing himself an intro. I did that yesterday.
He also had caffeine in the last 10 minutes. Welcome to CitizenCon Day 2, everybody!
Space Whales.
Are you pumped? Are you psyched? Have you eaten 2 dogs?
Wow.
Get in your seats. It's about to start, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Day 2. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Up first, character advancement with Ian, Sean, Forrest, Andre. Give it up. Bone, start the show!
Bone, start the show. I love that. Bro is pumped. He is. Hello, everybody joining. I'm going to be good. Well behaved, Ollie, today.
Hello there.
Hello. Jared pumping.
Hey, everyone.
Up the crowd.
It's so good to see you all again in person. Thanks for coming out.
Apart from you,
So
Jared.
I'm Ian. I'm the art director for Star Citizen.
You got to do the banter.
We're going to kick off the first ever Day 2 of CitizenCon by talking about some of the awesome work done by the character team. All right. So first, let's talk about life in a frontier system like Pyro and how this influences the character designs.
Oh, I love that backpack.
So we wanted to create something unique compared to what we've seen in Stanton already. We wanted to give a wider visual palette and a feeling of historical age between the different solar systems. So this chart describes the fashion pillars for humanity. We can see where all suits, armors, and fashion items should belong. In terms of material use, manufacturing technology,
That's crazy.
and novelty.
Why does it keep doing that?
So you can see Earth fashion on the left, Terra fashion on the right, and Frontier fashion right in the middle with a little bit of overlap of Earth. So essentially, Frontier fashion is function over form. They are repurposed and repaired, and generally are misfits rather than sets. Outfits are purposeful by having storage solutions. This implies survivability along the frontier.
The look of this stuff. It looks cool.
Let's take a look at some of these assets in the game.
Oh, nice. Video time already. I'm not flicking the screen, damn it. It just flickers between this studio, and I don't know why. It's really triggering me. I noticed it yesterday a little bit, but today it's really noticeable. Now you're not going to unsee it. Yeah, the outfits look cool, man. Love all the foliage and stuff. Basically hiking gear. Well, yeah, Pyro's a place where it's, you know, it's pretty... You have to survive in Pyro. Lack of a better way of putting it. So this is cool. Such texture on that stuff. It's like I could touch it. what that was. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. I need to not make myself laugh too much too early. Look at the state of this place. Pyro is a dump. Perfectly good rug there. It's the thing with like costume design and assets like this. It's like if you don't notice it, it's doing a good job. You know, it's only when you really look at it, you go, oh yeah, actually that's really cool. But like, if it stands out looking weird, you'd be like, this doesn't feel right, and I don't know what it is. But this stuff all looks natural, and you can believe it was manufactured and stuff. It's kind of crazy. It's true, it's called Ruin Station. It looks like I need a computer upgrade. How many people are watching this stream and going, I'm gonna have to get a new PC? Many people, probably. That's such a cool outfit. Nice.
Okay, awesome. So hopefully you guys that played Pyro Playground, you will have seen a few of those assets being showcased. Mm-hmm. So as we saw from the video, pouches and storage are a key part of the Frontier aesthetic. This drives the feeling of survivability. But from here, we thought it'd be really cool to give the functionality, but also some customization options. So let's take a look at a video we just developed internally.
I love customization.
And this is for modular storage items on the player.
Wow, that sounds cool. Modular storage. Oh, now I get to make my own family backpack with storage. I can have a little pouch for my medi pens, and I can have a pouch for my ammo, and I can have a pouch for my snacks. That's not in priority order. Oh yeah, like small pouch, big pouch. My 1080 is crying right now. Oh, so it kind of goes on like a weapon does now. You just kind of attach it. Dude, that looks sick. Yeah, that's really cool, actually. And on the trousers. Or pants. For you Americans. Space mod. You see what he's got in his arm? What's that on his arm? What does that do? It's like a screen? It's not Mobi-Glass because he's got the Mobi-Glass wrist thing. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Pretty cool, right?
Yes.
So I think this will provide loads of customization options in the future. We're super happy about that. So we also created some extreme weather costumes for Frontier locations. And these also follow the same mismatched and repurposed design aesthetics. Now, we've also been focusing on achieving a higher visual benchmark. So this is all driven by our new Layer Blend V2 shader and its texture library. And we focused on more consistent wearing between 0 and 100% values. So to showcase this, let's look at a quick example asset.
This helmet looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of like Mad Max a little bit. I don't know why. I think it's the fabric, the like worn fabric, and the kind of menacing face. The amount of detail in this stuff, though, looks pretty insane. Not getting too excited, but it looks pretty insane. Like, look, you're never ever gonna see the inside of that. Calm.
All right. So as we saw in the video, the insides of the helmets are looking fantastic. Now this is us getting them ready to animate with put on and take off.
That's huge. That's massive. rather than having to do it in a third
So,
person
in
view.
summary, Frontier Fashion is expanding the visual design palette for humans,
I guess you still
giving a more
quit.
credible feeling of age and history when you travel across multiple solar systems. All right, now let's talk about something different.
Gang life.
Now we're going to talk about some of the gangs in Star Citizen.
Why does it do that?
So, Ninetales have been one of the main gangs in the game. So far, over 105 million have been taken out by you guys.
That's crazy. I love that statistic. So they know how many of them have been taken out.
So you guys have been busy. Great job. All right. So it was like, all right, now we're going to need to introduce a few more factions to the game, okay?
And the Ninetales must have
So
insane
the first faction we're going to
recruitment.
talk about is Rough and Ready. So the aesthetic of the gang was to be subtle. They're understated in terms of clothing, and they almost blend into their environment. On closer inspection, you'll notice their tattoos. These signify rank and progression within the gang. Let's take a look at a quick video.
Thank you, Ortec, for the 10. Appreciate it. I did try and say thank you, but I'll get in where I can. These Star Citizen panels, I can't talk much without over-talking people. And I'm trying not to be that guy because it annoys people. So thank you. Well, that guy's pretty high rank. He's got lots of tattoos. Tattoos? Tattoos. Why did I say it like that? That looks like a good storage box. I'm like, how many med pens does that fit? Burn before, what does that say? Betrayal? I can't, it's hard to read, honestly. Pyro looks good. Yeah, I mean, I got super excited about Pyro yesterday. We've seen a lot of it. It's going to be in the game next week. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when I do my first impressions of Pyro. But yeah. Betrayal. It was Betrayal. Rough and Ready gang.
I think they look absolutely fantastic. Okay.
They look cool.
So the Rough and Ready can be found in some of the space stations around Pyro. Now the tattoos, like I said, the tattoos form a progressive design. This illustrates the hierarchy within the gang.
That's cool.
As a player, you'll be able to earn these tattoos and apply them to your character.
Oh, so there's going to be like a tattoo parlor. Nice. Oh, that looks sick.
Okay, cool. The next gang we're going to talk about is Headhunters. So this gang is also located in Pyro, but offers a completely different Frontier aesthetic.
All cosplayers
More of a
are
wasteland
like,
vibe, with lots of personality, and this will translate into the behavior types. Now, this gang is currently in production, but let's take a quick sneak peek.
Wow, these guys look crazy. I want Headhunter armor. It looks cool. It kind of reminds me of that. There's one you can get on the 890 jump mission. I don't know what it is, but like there's a... You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Look at that. Like some freaking Roman. Still a little nuts and bolts for my liking, though. But I guess that's Pyro for you. Little skulls and stuff. They honestly did a great job here. Look at that. How sick is that? The deer head guy, that's the one. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't say the word deer. It just wasn't coming to my brain. It looks like he's got like a burnt face. Did you try and sniff your stove lid, Luke? Sorry. It's obviously like tribal stuff. Bob's in chat. Hey, Bob. Dusters. Now this armor looks cool.
Okay, so cosplay competition next year. I can't wait to see what you guys.
Yeah, I
come
know.
up with.
That's
All right.
literally what I said, right? Cosplay is going to be insane.
All right, so they're looking awesome. Now the last gang we want to talk about is Dusters. So Dusters are a criminal gang specializing in mining-related crimes. Now internally, I love the original Desert Nomad armor. You can see him here, right? Now, I wanted to use it as a starting point to establish the Dusters design language. So here we can see...
Oh, I need the legendary armor. I need it.
So here we can see the Dusters gang lineup, showing armor leveling and rarity. So as a player, you'll have horizontal armor progression. This will define your role and playstyle. Then you'll have vertical progression. This is your progression within that role and playstyle.
Massive.
For example, a common bounty hunter armor set will be weaker than a legendary, and as armor progresses in strength, it's harder to acquire. So harder missions, rarer drops, higher reputation. Now, as we're talking a little bit about armor sets, let's recap a little. So the goal is that players should consider which armor to equip based on the role they wish to fill and the scenario they're heading into. There will be also greater differences between the current armor types. So light, medium, and heavy, and this will be in protection and mobility.
I won't be able to wear heavy armor.
New armor categories will be combat, specialist, utility, and support.
That's cool. I guess that gives you different suit slots. Oh, it literally says.
And these
suit
will
slots.
define the type of items that are quickly available on the slots of the suit. There will also be additional functionality to assist in your chosen role. A matrix of armor type versus category will provide a variety of roles, with each providing best-in-class benefits. There will also be hindrances to out-of-role gameplay. For example, if you're wearing a heavy armor set and you're trying to fly a little snub fighter, you'll have restricted visibility and less vehicle control.
Damn, you're going to have to put a space suit on to do proper
So in this
dogfighting.
scenario, like a flight suit armor type with resistance to milder G-forces would be preferred.
Oh,
Okay.
that's... Damn, they
So as we saw in Ali's presentation yesterday,
mad stuff.
hygiene simulates and tracks the accumulated effects of a character going unwashed.
You guys are about to
for
see
any
my
length of
sweaty, smelly character who just makes
Poor
YouTube
hygiene
videos.
can lead to disease
Oh, I'm going to be
lowered
diseased
health
as well, thanks.
and snarky comments. Hygiene decays faster if a character becomes dirty or wears dirty clothing or armor, and visual effects are going to be displayed on the character's skin,
That's cool.
such as blood, sweat, and dirt. Certain usables, such as a shower, will reset the character's hygiene and clean away all of those dirt effects.
Do I have to
So,
go in with
let's
my
keep
armor
clean.
if my
Yeah.
armor is dirty? Is this too much, chat?
Okay, so that covers a quick recap
I don't think so.
on armor sets and hygiene. Let's get back to a video showcasing the Dusters.
Because it doesn't really affect the game. You just get snarky comments, right? It's not like you can't do certain missions. Oh man, honestly, this armor suit looks awesome. His little grunt. They wanted realism and now they're all in. Yeah. Bob Mitch is there on his 890 jump getting clean. Unbelievable. They love this LMG. They're always showing it. It's the F55 or something, right? But I love the idea that you have to choose armor for what you're doing. At the moment, you kind of just pick heavy or medium armor and you put it on at the start of a session and you leave it on. But now, like mid-session, you're going to be like, right, I'm going in my spaceship. I want full maneuverability. I'm going to put on my spacesuit. And then I'm going to take off my armor and, you know, that is cool. FS9? Not F55. FS9. Really cool stuff. Jason!
Awesome. So you'll be able to find the dusters scattered around various derelict settlements and wrecks in Stanton. And the dusters will be available Q4 this year.
All right, so end of this year, it's going to be in Stanton, not Pyro.
And with that, I'll hand you over to Sean Tracy. You guys have been awesome. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Woo! That's great.
Hello, everyone.
Yo, what's up?
All right, so I'm Sean Tracy. I'm the Senior Director of Tools and Tech Content here at Cloud Imperium Games in Los Angeles.
Yeah, you are.
So today I want to talk about Starcloth. And Starcloth was initially unveiled at a previous CitizenCon kind of in an early stage. So it's now rolled into full production, and it's used in both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. So it's going to be seen on more and more assets, like some of the great art that you just saw. So what's really cool about it is that it's unified with the physical world, whereas before it wasn't unified and was based completely on character movement. Now, it's faster than the previous Cloth setups, and in the end, it just looks a whole lot better. So today, I'm going to cover some of the tech, the pipeline, and we'll see some results. So let's get and see it in action.
Didn't we see some of the cloth stuff yesterday? It looked really good, but...
Trench coat.
Trench coat.
Cloth is hard. Guys have to run upstairs, they have to crouch, they have to prone, it's got to collide with the environment.
Yeah, this looks really good. The thing is,
And even more difficult, it needs to hold up in high-end cinematics.
Is he walking around the Idris? Looks like it. Oh, dude, look at this. Some graphics, yo.
I cut that one just before some good spoilers, so. Yeah. All right, so how's it all work? Well, Cloth uses two meshes, a simulation mesh or cage, and the render mesh itself. So vertex colors indicate how it's constrained to that cage, and thus the simulation. So for example, black vertex colors indicate a full constraint. Basically, it follows the skinning. White vertex colors indicate unconstrained vertices. So the movement is determined entirely by the simulation. And then we can do a blend of gray values that is used for fine transitions and blending and fall off in between the fully skinned and fully simulated assets. So in the end, these meshes are sent to the engine where we bind the cage to the render mesh, and then tech artists can leverage some of the runtime tools. You can see up on the image that the sim cage mesh has about 5,000 triangles, whereas the actual render mesh is about 45,000 triangles. So it's obviously much more efficient to simulate the sim cage mesh versus just the render mesh itself.
Madness.
So part of the technology is the runtime iteration support, which you can see in the image above me here. That's with all the red spheres. Here we're actually painting the collision radius of every single one of the vertices, and it allows us to fine-tune the simulation without having to add arbitrary collision meshes, though we can.
Yeah, did we not
paint
see
a variety
some
of
this yesterday?
properties. So some of these other properties are mass or displacement. In the top right, you can see an example
Is
of
this
the old
different?
legacy implementation using pendulums. And this uses joint chains and collisions.
Going into
but
more detail,
assets
okay.
with multiple layers, like the one that you can see there, or ones like skirts or gowns, they were really, really difficult to do with pendulum simulation, but they are solved with StarCloth.
Because we looked at hair,
So
didn't we?
I mentioned it's completely unified with the physical world. And what that really means is that wind, impacts, object collisions, thruster backwash, all these kind of things actually react to the cloth reacts to these things, and so much more. So it's not just character movement. Now, it's a hyper-efficient simulation, and it's several orders of magnitude faster than the legacy implementation that we used before, and has a lot of easy-to-control parameters for tech art, which are compression, stretching, and bending. So as mentioned yesterday by Chris Rain, our senior lead physics programmer, we
Right.
support soft body tapered capsules, which are twice as fast as our ragdoll capsules. It's also key to solving one of the most important aspects of plausible cloth simulation, and that's mitigating the tunneling or the clipping that happens through a character. So it's very, very difficult to solve with pendulums. So with all this tech in mind, we can do really complicated assets like the Duster and the one I want to show you now.
Oh, this place looks so cool.
So here you're seeing about 5 different layers of cloth going on and self-colliding between each other.
That looks like unrealistically good. It looks like
It's reacting to the planet wind, which is always changing.
it looks baked. You know, it looks completely like CIG.
On the front,
CGI.
there's a big leather apron. So this one's actually a lot heavier, and it moves a lot differently than the cloth on the back.
Doesn't it look insane? Like, it looks realistic. It's kind of crazy. This
So
was
he's
me
walking into the wind here.
looking for my sausage roll yesterday. I'm so hungry. Where's my food? Just mute the stream.
And in the end, as I mentioned, it just looks a whole lot better.
It does. It looks phenomenal.
So with that, I want to hand you off to my friend, Andre Piers, who's
I
gonna talk
hope the
about
leather
hair.
thing goes like poof in your face, and you're like, I can't see anymore.
Thank you, man.
Little fist bump.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, hi.
So, nice to be here in LA
I
with
want
all
that
you guys.
jacket.
So, I want to start
That
with a
jacket
question,
looks
okay?
sick.
How many of you are actually excited that we're getting new hair into the verse?
Bob Mitch was very excited about hair.
All right. So, I'm Andre. I'm the lead artist in our recently formed hair department. We branched out from the character art team.
I
and
love
created
how
this
there's a
department.
hair department. That's amazing.
And it's a pleasure to be here today with all of you and tell you that we're damn proud of what we achieved. It's been a long road, but definitely worth it. Okay?
Hey, I have
Now-
YouTube Premium. This is Twitch.
We're going to start by just looking at the most impactful changes that we
I'm
have
not cheap.
in our workflow.
If anything, I waste
Okay,
money.
Bit of a technicality part. Then you're going to get to look at the benchmark assets we have created. Okay? And from there, we're going to take a glimpse into the future of what hair could be with a more diverse hairstyle, where we're trying to run away a little bit from the military look that was driven mostly by what Squadron 42 was. So because we did a lot of work for that as well. And yeah, from there, as a last note, I'll have a special announcement for you guys. Okay, don't want to spoil it, but you stick around, you're gonna love what we have. Okay, so first thing I want to touch note, very simply. Okay, hair
Dude,
for
look at that
games
mohawk.
is hard. It's really hard. Oh, by the way, did I tell you these are actually game-ready assets in the Persistent universe?
I want the mohawk.
Fully rendered in our engine, okay? Game ready, performant, ready to be shipped, okay? So, hair is really hard, like I was saying. It is a AAA challenge, basically. You see games that get it, games that don't. Some of them get it more or less. either way, for us the challenge is the same. We're not different, and the challenge is real. With the scope of Star Citizen, like day-night cycles, all these light shafts, all this MMO, people running around with the hairs, a lot of motion, a lot of fast-paced movement. Yeah, it is hard. But the best thing is we have arrived.
Someone's playing with the
Okay.
microphone and it's driving me mad.
It is, yeah, clap. It is, it doesn't end here, okay? Yeah. It does not end here, okay? It's the nature of CIG. We just keep pushing the boundaries, but like I said, we're really proud of what we're showing you here today. So let's dive in what we made all this possible, okay? On a high note, on a high level, basically, a successful hair requires 3 fundamental elements, okay? There's the texture, there's the placement,
I want that
and there's
haircut.
also the shader. If one of these elements fails, all of them do, okay? So it's basically, you can have a great texture, great placement. If your shader is wrong, no go, really. And the same if the texture fails or if the placement fails. So really vital, really important that everything works together. But the good thing is, by breaking down the hair into these 3 parts, it also allows us to actually go deep into each of them and push the quality up. Or like Chris Roberts would say, bring the high fidelity, right? So, on the texture end, there was a lot of changes. What you see on the top there, the common approach of a AAA game would be to have true black, true white on a transparency
We're
map.
not AAA,
taper
we're a
on
quad
the,
A.
on the tips and roots and call it a day. That's what happens in 99% of the games. Now at CIG, we went a bit further than that. We tested all the thicknesses that were actually reasonable to test, of course, and we came to a realization.
Oh my word.
The hair doesn't need to be
You
thin
gotta
enough.
love the
It
project
needs
for
to
the
look
just
thin.
absolutely
We do need it to be thicker enough,
bonkers.
thicker
no
than
boundaries
real-life hair,
development.
because if you take one of your hairs, you'll see it's really thin, right? So it does need to be renderable. That means if it's really thin, it will be sub-pixel rendered at some point. With the motion and all that, we will get a lot of artifacts. And so that would be a no-go. We do need it to be thicker than in real life. But can we make it look thin? That was the question. So we came to the realization that from hair, or from scalp to hair, and from hair to the background, so these 2 points, the transition points, are the most important ones for the hair. So we aggressively tapered the tips, which is what you see over there, and added a gradient to it. So no longer true black and true white. Now, this is a lot of technicality. You will see practical examples of this, but that allowed us to have smooth transitions and basically achieve the result we expected. On the placement side, we came up with hair libraries, basically. Now, I could be here all day talking about hair libraries, okay? Because I'm a very technical person, and if you see me around the venue, feel free, I'm Andre. You can just come and talk to me about this. I'm not going to bother you all that for 1 hour about this, but I'm going to give you a very quick example that you all can relate. So imagine in real life, you have a construction business, and you could make one wall, one roof, one floor, and one window. You make it all work together, and from there, you're not only building your house, you're actually building the whole town, and then the whole state, and then eventually the whole universe, right? That's what air libraries are. Obviously, the result, if you could do that, it would be much cheaper, much faster, and above all, you wouldn't have a fruit salad of assets, which was what we had in the hair not too long ago. And by fruit salad, I mean several artists working through the years, each one of them applying their own workflow. Everybody's at different levels of quality, of course, different minds, different ways of seeing the same problem. So at the end of the day, fruit salad, right? And we wanted uniform quality. So for that, air libraries are a great solution. We also decreased the time of production of hairs. So
It makes sense.
it was taking us 20 to 40 days to create one hairstyle per artist, okay? Right now, it's going from like 3 to 5, 7 days per hairstyle, which is great news, okay? So yeah, that was a major achievement. Cool. So hair libraries are just a thing. We love it. It's not just picking up a texture and putting it there. if you do that, like you need to actually see the scope. Gladly, we have some of the best artists in the world on here working with us, so we managed to achieve this at the scope that we wanted. Now, on the shader side, there was plenty of changes as well. Some of them are very techy, very, very cool as well. I'm going to run through fast through some of them so you guys can understand the scope of what we're dealing with. But let's just understand, like at bake time, so bake time is prior to runtime. Runtime is where the game runs. Bake time, we're preparing the asset to actually put it in the engine. At bake time, we calculate the custom normal and we store it per vertex. So each vertex gets a custom normal. That makes, in a practical sense, for those who are not too technical, it basically makes the card, the air card, not look like a card. So the normals is help with the way the light reflects. We kind of do more smoke and mirrors on it and make it look not like a card by just baking it that way. Now, on the ambient occlusion, we store two baked ambient occlusions onto the color channels of the vertices as well. Now, each vertex on a mesh in any game has a color to it, okay? You might use it or not. Imagine in a car, you have a trunk. You can use it or not. It's up to you. It's not silly to use the car without using the trunk, of course, but if you have a luggage, you can put it there or in the back seat, wherever you want. Now, we decided to use this because
this guy loves
the trunk was already there, so the vertex
using real-world objects to explain
things. And we just decided to store two ambient occlusions on it. These two ambient occlusions work this way.
I don't want fruit salad.
Hair,
I want a
like
car trunk.
Hair obviously needs more shadowing, or less shadowing than a dark hair, right? And so we store two. The length of the card is now baked onto the last one, and that gives us a metric of where the card starts and ends, and allows a lot of cool things you're going to see on the videos I'm about to show. So, one last thing before we can start looking at videos is that, and this is really creative, total credit for the people, for the tools programmers. I personally had nothing to do with this. This was already at CIG when I joined. It's absolutely amazing. So, we have an hairstyle that was ready, that you can see over there. And we have a hair cap. An hair cap is basically a mesh on top of the character's head, which is invisible, transparent. It is just there. Sometimes we use it for shadowing. That thing has an UV. And so we project the hair, or where the hair starts, onto that UV, and gives us that image that you see on the middle, right? And so we now have
someone sitting on their microphone that is genuinely annoying.
That relates to a 3D
location. How is someone
Meaning that if I want to have hair like mine, which is
whoever's
white
doing that
on the sides and dark on the top, I could just paint this part and get it white on one side and then dark on the top, which is an insane advancement because cards normally are stacked on top of each other. So when an artist is placing cards, if you paint one card to make it white here, well, it's going to be stacked on top of the other and you're going to get spots all over the place and no control over it. So this allows us to give control. And what you see on the last image is the possible results. For example, now I can paint one side of my 2D representation of my 3D space and get this possible result, which is pretty amazing.
So are we going to have hairstyles like that? That's my question.
Next video, we're going to take a look at our tools, okay? This is not the way it's going to be exposed to you guys in the character customizer. You'll know more about that later.
It's probably whoever's next coming on the stage.
This is the tools we use we are able to actually
the mic's been put hot, ready for when it goes on.
Let's take a look at this video.
I don't know if it's him breathing, but man.
You have the full range, so you can go for full white. These are melanin ranges, so realistic ranges. Fully white up to black.
It is him, he breathes through his nose. That's not really the mic's fault.
Obviously, you can go red head as well.
He's got a cold or something.
Get out of the way. You also have the dye feature where you can see all the things we talked about implemented. You can go a bit more wild on this.
That's cool. But it looks like hair that's been dyed, you know? Like you can see like the roots are darker and it kind of fades. Quite believable. Ollie, I wish everyone was as kind as you are. How am I being kind? I don't even know. That is so cool. It looks really neat. And I like the idea that you could have a little bit of hair, like, color at the back. My
And this
dude's
is why
getting a
important,
mohawk.
The length of the card is stored in those vertexes. And obviously you can fade it as well as much as you do. So all the possible combinations.
Are we going to be able to do it though, or is it
Realistic
just for
melanin
the
ranges
people
and
that make them?
the dye layer, okay? This is how the occlusion is working, so you can see these shadowings, creating more negative spaces, more structure to the hair. And if you look at the temporal line here, you can see how this pixel depth of set helps us with the transitions.
Where do I
as
plug
well.
in that IQ link?
Cool.
That would be sick. Whoa.
By the way, did I tell you these are actually game-ready assets, ready to go to PU?
Ready to ship.
So now that we understand a bit better how the hair is working, that's why the boring part that I told you just before, you can examine these images with a bit more of an informed opinion. That is basically the example. Now, that's all very exciting, but we want to show you hairstyles that are actually in Star Engine and working. So that's the video we're going to take a look next. Okay?
Nice. Let's have a hair reel. Oh, dude, that hair looks cool. I wish I had hair like that. That's a lot of work, that. Spiking it up. That looks really believable, though. Does that not look believable, chat? Like, it's the texture, I think, that really makes it. And like the odd strands and stuff. I think it looks awesome. This thing, it just looks believable, right? Realistic. Oh man. How many people watching right now have got serious hair envy? Oh man. Now that looks really good. My hand is up. Oh, even got like the scars and stuff. That looks great. We need balding and beard tech. You guys make me laugh. Oh, that's the haircut I want. Man, my hair's not thick enough to pull that off. I just look stupid. It's really annoying as well because all my close friends have really good hair. I hate them for it. There's a lot of hair. Also, Pedro's music. Am I right? It just sounds amazing. Big clap.
Great, guys. So I can see by your feedback that you really enjoyed the dye, so I'm going to try and direct things that way next time. Pretty cool. Okay, yeah, these are game-ready assets as well. Now, like I promised you, we're trying to make this diverse and get away a little bit from this type of hairstyles you just seen now, which is a bit more military. And for that, we'll have the next video. Now, it's important for you to understand if there's any 3D artists, character artists, air artists out there, you will know. Some of the hairstyles you're going to see next are some of the hardest things you can do in hair for games. In a practical sense, if you can do what is going to be shown next and render it at 60 frames per second on an MMO, you can do pretty much anything. Okay?
We are incredible.
It's our glimpse into the future of what type of diversity we want to achieve. We're not only going for this style, but just showing you that if this style is one of the directions, then the full range will come. I hope you enjoy.
So the stuff we just saw is in game. This is stuff they're perfecting and working on. Plats. Wow, look at that. Now that is awesome. I don't think I've seen many games with hair like that. That is sick. Also, this music just gets me pumped. They could put this in front of a cat video and be like, yeah, go cat! You know what I mean? Pedro, man. Hope they paid him well. My dreads are represented. Honestly, that is awesome. Then the little I don't even know what they call them. The beads in the hair. That's sick. They did say these aren't game ready yet. They're working on these, so just keep that in mind. Like, it's a fake background probably.
Thank you, guys. So yeah, like I've been saying, these pictures you see here.
It's a good point. How do they work with
rendered as you see in real time, depending on the
sure
light
if you had a
conditions and
helmet,
stuff.
you'd need
But
to like
there's
tie
no
it back and
tricks
whatever.
here. This is actually how it looks, and that's why we're really proud. Like I said, it doesn't end up here. Okay, we're pushing this forward. This is just to replace the stuff that was there. I'm pretty sure you guys were tired. Nobody at CIG was happy with what we had. I can assure you that. Yeah.
Chris was not happy.
Especially as an air artist, right? So, but we finally arrived. Now, we've seen all this. What does this mean in a practical sense for you guys? It's the question you may have. Well, let me tell you really fast. We made over 75 hairstyles since like 6 months ago. On the last 6 months, we made 75 hairstyles. That is a lot. That was possible with all the changes we made. Yeah.
Crazy.
That is a great achievement. Now, we cannot hand them all to you right now. It's very simple. It's very simple. It doesn't end up here at the artist end, okay? After this, there's a tech art pass where they need to skin it, they need to make it work with hats, with goggles, with everything that needs to work, right? So it's a process that takes time, but we wanted to have a certain amount, a quantity that would be enough to replace all the stuff that it's there, give you enough variety for you to start.
That's
and
cool.
that's
They're
what
going to
we're
change the hairstyles.
next. Now, it
Not gonna
also
lie
tells you
though, I
when
definitely
are you
just
getting.
don't customize
So,
my character when I log into the game at the moment.
as a
I
last
don't know about
note,
you guys.
I'll leave you with this video, and next, Forrest will come here to talk about this stuff. So let's take a look at this, guys.
But maybe now that there's cool hairstyles, I will.
Into the PU.
So these are PU hairstyles. Nice. Getting some female ones as well. Lovely. Girls are cheering. Love it. That's cool. Like, I think that's awesome. Hairstyles. Great. Hair tech. Star hair. Let's go. Q4.
So before the year ends,
I thought we
you're
didn't
gonna
do
get to
dates.
enjoy these hairstyles. It was a pleasure to be here with you today, guys, and see you in the bus.
What? I didn't think we did dates. I thought dates were like against the rules.
Another round of applause for Andre and getting new hairs into the game. I can't wait to put new hair on my character, I'll tell you that. And for Ian and his awesome character team and the amazing characters they showed us earlier. Absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna run through this, we don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna talk to you about character heads. We've talked about hair. We have talked about outfits. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the heads and our pipeline and getting us from the actors that we hire to do the photogrammetry all the way to the game characters. So we have a DNA pool, expansion, and customization I'm going to be taking you through. We made a data-driven pipeline for adding new heads. So what is a DNA pool? DNA pool is just a bunch of heads that we put into the game. That way you can modify the ears, the nose, the chin, the mouth, and you could interpolate between all the different heads. A DNA pool. We want to expand the pool and allow for more selection and range. So we scanned 60 new heads for our DNA pool. 60 new heads.
I love it.
And we
They've
processed them
scanned
internally.
60 heads in the past 6 months.
We also added customizable facial features, skin tones, complexion, makeup layer on top, revisited the eyes. These characters look new and they look great.
That picture does actually look really good. Like, she looks really realistic.
All right. So our current pool, there's the 18 heads right there. But that wasn't enough. We need more. That is our new pool.
Is Chris Roberts there? I really hope Chris Roberts is there. That would be amazing. I want the DNA of Chris Roberts as my character.
Very exciting. Right now in the PU, when you're playing, see that center row? You get 9 females and 9 males. And now we're going to be getting all these characters. It's for Squadron and the Persistent Universe. How do we do it?
Whoa, look at
Well,
that.
we partnered with Clear Angle over in Pinewood, London. And they have this thing called the Clear Angle Dorothy Scanner. The scanner improvements allows us to get shoots done in 4 weeks of sessions. Custom coded flash that just kind of does it automatically, all calibrated in seconds. To give you an idea, our old process for doing this took hours to calibrate. This thing does it in seconds. Talk about state of the art. Average of 4 scan actors per day now. We used to be doing 1. What this means to you is we can get you characters faster. We can get you new heads faster. Polarized image data resulted in improved spec, blah, blah, blah. Those are awesome texture maps that we could put on the head. That way we could render them, make them look really good. Photogrammetry captured in raw images at 8K texture map resolutions. Hyper accurate scan results.
Madness.
Now, close your eyes if you're a little sensitive to light.
Whoa.
This is the process we use to get the pictures, to build the photogrammetry, to calibrate the cameras.
That's nuts, guys. Close your eyes, light. What the frick?
All right.
What the?
So we got some characters here on the screen. Those are all built using all these things that I've briefly mentioned.
Sorry about that.
I want to talk to you a little bit
I didn't
about
know that
skin
was
tone,
coming. I
though.
would have given more warning.
Skin tone's tricky because we want to apply it. We want to be able to customize it. We want you to have the ability to do whatever you want. So what you see is some really weird looking characters. We see a head with some yellow. Yellow's good in this case. What we're trying to do is we're trying to find the average skin color. Once we find the average skin color, we can figure out what that skin tone is, and then we can apply it.
That's crazy.
The blue means it's further away from the average skin tone. So when you apply your skin tone, it has less influence, keeping those high details, keeping the color, the blemishes, the imperfections. That middle one, that whitehead, that's where we get once we've extracted the data. It's now ready to apply the skin tone.
It kind
which you
of
see
seems
at
like
the end.
now we have the DNA. We have you. What the? I have no idea the science of what's going on, but it's kind of blown my mind anyway. I'm just seeing a lot of realistic looking heads and photos and... Look at that.
All right, so here's a little more
Nuts.
detail what I'm talking about. We knew that we were going to get a pool for these heads, this pool of all these different awesome shapes, noses, ears, lips. But now, with what we're doing currently, you can see that we have calibrated all of our source photos of our actors. And with that, we could figure out exactly what they're supposed to look like. And then once I extract and do the average thing, I'm able to get a value. And that value translates into a skin tone. And that skin tone translates into a chart that you can customize your character with. And what's great about this is as we grow our pool and we get more heads, we get more skin
This guy
tones.
wants to scan
so our
everyone.
skin tones aren't based on...
We have a
you
booth
know,
over there
maybe
if you want to
whatever it
become
should be.
scanned.
What should it be? What does it look like? These are real data. These are real data that we get from these incredible clear angle scans and the incredible tech that is written by our staff. And the skin tone will grow along with our head data and along with our heads.
I want to be in the game.
And there's
yeah,
an
that would be
example
cool,
of
actually.
me just applying it and showing that in
Look at that.
practice.
It looks really realistic. I'm not
And
gonna
now
lie.
here's another look. Here's a couple more characters that I put together with this stuff.
The thing is, it's kind of like the costumes. Like, you don't notice
And
it
here's
unless
what's
it's
great
bad.
about that. I did that with our brand new character creator, character customizer for Squadron 42. Every head you see in here,
That's-
which will also be applied to the
just
persistent
looks
universe.
really realistic,
so all
you know?
heads are in the verse.
It just looks realistic. You should
And
be
as
in
you
the
can
game.
see right here,
I
here's
should
a
be
little
in the
scene I
game.
put together using the outfits, using the hair, using the skin, using the heads. And I did that all with the new character creator.
Are you gonna
And
show
here to
us the-
show you that, is the live demo of the character creator.
Yes.
I'm going to bring back my good friend Sean Tracy.
Bring on Bone. Bone. Bigger face.
Thanks, buddy. Give me.
Ah, look at bromance.
All right, so what's this all mean to you guys? Let's show ya. Time for live demo.
Oh my goodness, there's a flight stick there.
All right. So
We're definitely.
I want to welcome you
Ow.
to the Biotic Corp Calliope machine. All
Ow.
right, so here you can
don't know
see
what that
we've
sound
got
is.
Whoa, I'm getting feedback.
That really hurts.
You can see we've got two body types that I can select from at any point in time.
Ow! Ow!
So we're going to start in right away. Now, you might recall how the character creator currently works. You would have a whole bunch of source heads from our DNA pool. We would select one of the facial shapes, and then we'd blend it up or down, depending on how much you wanted that
This looks
certain facial shape.
crazy
Now,
good. I
this
love
was
the
pretty
UI.
good, but it's not the most intuitive of systems. So instead, what we wanted to come up with was a much more intuitive way to control this. And what we've now introduced
Oh, please
is
let me-
sculpting mode.
Dude! That looks awesome.
It's quite interesting to know what's going on behind the scenes, and this wasn't an easy problem to solve, but our animation programmers and tech artists and everybody came together, and they figured out a way to basically make it so that from the DNA pool, we are making a selection based on what you want out of it. So it's going on between all the different options.
My
Now, I'm
player
gonna
is gonna
start
have
making some
wonky
changes
ears,
here
man.
Right away. So I want to wind up the nose.
No!
You can see that
People
it's
are going
all
to make
very
such
intuitive. It's fast to
awful
use.
messes.
I'm going to make the lips a little bit bigger here. There we go, something like that.
I'm
I
literally
think
gonna.
that looks pretty good.
This could be.
I'm going to
it
adjust the brow
looks
here,
impressive,
maybe make
though.
a little bit of a heavier brow. Now we can adjust the eye shape. We can go more almond eyes. We can go more oval. We can have a heavy lid. You know, I can find a whole bunch of different options within here. So here, we're starting to look pretty good. I want to give him a little bit more of a hero chin.
This reminds me of that
There we go.
Mario
I'm liking
64,
that.
Mario Party.
That's cool.
Mini
All right,
game.
so
We have to,
not to
like,
spend too
drag
much time on
Browser's
that, I want to show you
face
some of the other features. And
the shape.
speaking of features, we go to our skin tone. So finally, you're not just selecting a preset skin tone. You can move through the whole gamut of the lookup table, and this is melanin and hemoglobin at the same time.
Looks great.
So at the very top of it, I've got a texture slider. So instead of the whole head sort of selection, we can go between all the different textures. Now, like Forrest mentioned, we're going to have 30 of these for one body type and 30 for the other body type. So here, I'm kind of liking, what am I like? Oh, I like this one. So here, and I'm just going to set a skin tone that I kind of like, something like that. That's cool. All right, so the next step in our skin tone is the complexion. And complexion, we've added freckles.
Yay for freckles. It looks really good. This UI and stuff looks
So
super
here I'm
polished.
just blending in and I'm blending out the amount of freckles. Now I've cranked it all the way to the top just so you guys can see it.
I'm
But
Irish.
for my character here, I'm going to keep it kind of subtle.
Can I just say,
Like
yes,
this,
you can.
But quite a few of them.
Is it
something
just
like
a
that.
toggle for
We've
it?
also got sunspots. Now this is, a little more weathered skin. We'll give this sort of look. And we've got a whole bunch of different blemish masks planned for you guys, whether that's sunspots or liver spots or anything to that effect. Now, I'm going to give this guy kind of a weathered look because I think the skin tone looks pretty cool like that. Yeah, I'm digging that. All right, so next up, eyes. So no longer do we have the
Well, we can
green
have
and
red
the brown,
eyes?
just the full selection. You've got a full RGB chart of what you want to select. So if you want to have bright green eyes, if you want to have hazel eyes, if you want to have blue eyes, if you want to have any of these eyes, this is all very, very nice. So again, we can go with deep browns. We can go with sort of a steely blue, which I'm kind of digging for this skin tone. I quite like that look. That's
The eyes
cool.
look crazy good, like the reflections in the eyes.
Oh, well, we'll get into some funky colors. Don't you worry. All right. So one of the other things we've added, and it was mentioned before, we've added a makeup layer. And with the makeup layer, we're totally inclusive. Any of the body types can have makeup. Now, I don't want to spend too long on it here because we're going to get into it in a couple minutes. But I just want to show you sort of blending that in, blending that out for this particular body type. So next, as Andre talked about, we have all the hairstyles that you could want.
Preview moving in 3D. That looks
So I'm
sick.
just going to pick a couple different ones. There's a reality for some of us and another reality for another one of us. There it is.
I love it.
That's what I want my reality to be here. Something like this. I'm digging the mohawk, though, for this one. He's got a bit of a Mr. T look to him. I kind of like this. Yeah, I pity the fool. All right.
Beards. Let's go. I don't know if you guys are digging it,
might
guys,
go
but I
without saying that
absolutely
we've
love
got beards now. So
this UI. Looks
if you
great.
want to select a full beard, you can select a full beard. If
I'm
you want
rocking
just
the-
mutton chops, you got your mutton chops. You want your handlebar, you got your handlebar. All right. So we've got all the different beard types that you could want, and we're going to add as many as you guys really want. So I'm kind of digging the full beard for this guy. Yeah, I'm digging the full beard for this guy.
They don't have like a shadow.
Even further to that, we've got eyebrow selection, which is, I mean, you could go with no eyebrows. That's a very real. You could have bushy ones. You can have a little bit more, normal, kind of straightforward ones. But it was mentioned before
Oh,
during
hair
the hair
dye.
and
Look at
with
this.
Forrest's discussion that we've got the hair dye as well. So with the hair dye,
Dye
You can
amount.
affect all the hair at once, and right now I've got all selected, so I can go through the gamut of all the different hair melanin that you can set. So here I'm just going to darken it up a little bit, and if I wanted to dye the facial hair, I could just dye the facial hair all by itself, setting a dye color here, something like that. But in the end, I'm really digging the jet black on this particular one. So I'm going to frost these tips a little bit. I think that's going to look kind of cool. Let's set a bit of a blonde here, turn up the dye amount. And then what's really cool about this, and I'll show this in a minute, is that we can actually control the fall off of it. So again, if I just want this on the tips, I can just
Oh,
blend
dude,
it
that's sick.
right about here.
That looks really cool. Damn.
So there we go. He looks a lot different than how that started, and I think that's actually pretty fun. Now, there's a lot of stuff in here, and I can't wait for you guys to explore it and spend as much time as you want customizing and expressing
Who wants a
yourself as
4-hour
character.
stream of me
So
trying
once
to
you're
make
done,
myself?
You've got to sign off a personal declaration that the physical appearances that the calliope process has allegedly caused are okay with you. So let's go to our next body type. All right. So I'm going to go to town here real fast. Right away.
Yes.
And you might think it looks a little off or so, but I don't know. We're going to get there. Let's make some changes here. Going to adjust the bridge of the nose, maybe a little bit of the cheekbones here. That's maybe a little extreme. Let's go back here. Something like that. And I'll make the lips a little bit smaller here, and I'm going to lengthen that chin for a little more of a triangle kind of face here. So you can see, you can tweak to your heart's content. You can spend a lot of time doing this. And I don't really like the brows. I like a little bit softer.
And you mocked
brow
the
for
hair,
this
Ollie.
particular character.
I didn't mock
looking
it. I
pretty
just
good
said
to
I
me,
didn't
actually.
understand it. I feel like
So
I
next,
understand
just like
it
we
now.
did before, we go into features. We can do the skin tone. I'm going to select a certain texture here, just because we got to get
looks
going
so
on
realistic.
time here. Let's go. Something around here is looking pretty good to me. Cool.
Cool.
All right, we go into the complexion the same way that we did before. So we start with the freckles.
I love the way it says
And I
freckles.
kind of like a real
Freckles?
freckled appearance on this particular character. And I'm going to turn down the sunspots.
All the
So we
sliders
move forward
max.
to the eye
Yeah.
color again. Ooh, I'm really digging the green.
This character
Yeah.
would look
I
a
like the
lot
green
more
kinda look.
normal if
And
the
we
eyes
get
weren't
to the
pushed.
makeup. Now, this is where I want
to
to
the
spend
side
more
so
time.
much.
Now, I'm arguably not very good at this, but I will do my absolute best to show you guys how you can use it. So first is the eyeliner. So the eyeliner, we can do any color. You can go as crazy or as chill as you want to go with this. But for this particular, I'm going to go quite dark here, just in the dark sort of fuchsias and purples. Here, we'll do in the inner lid eyeshadow. And that, I'm kind of keeping the same theme, I think. Yeah, and then we're going to do the same thing
Watching
with the
guys
broad eyeshadow. So
do
again, we can
female
go as
makeup.
crazy
Uh,
or as calm as you want.
it's cool though, showing the tech.
So what I've had good success in doing is kind of having it cranked, and then I just pull it back to a little more of a natural blend, something to
Yeah,
this
that looks
effect
good
here.
actually.
Next is the lips. We can do the exact same stuff on the lips. Now, what we have is a whole bunch of different makeup masks, and you've got 3 different channels within those masks. So basically 3 different colors that are affecting different areas of it. Now, for the lips, we can go with the same sort of theme
Itchy
if we
bar,
wanted.
lipstick
and I
for
think I'm
men.
actually kind of digging that.
Boop, 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 boop.
And then let's go
Who
on the
gets that
lip
reference?
liner, a little darker. And then lips are a lot more glossy.
If you
so
put
we
it in
can
chat,
increase
you
the gloss
immediately
there,
get
so that looks
5
a little
cool
more
points
like
from
a
me.
lip gloss. Yeah, that looks pretty cool there. And then, like I was doing before, I kind of just pull it back a little bit. And there we are. So next,
Yeah, you guys are all cool.
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. I have no business doing that, that's for sure. Same thing on the hair. Again, we've got a whole bunch of different hairstyles. These will all be shared between the 2 body types, but for this particular demo, we've got the ponytail, we've got the slick back kind of look.
It looks really good, this
Yeah.
stuff, actually.
I'm not finding one I'm really
and
digging
it,
yet.
the thing about it is it looks really polished.
Yes.
It looks,
Yes, now we're talking. All right. So cool. Now, again, we're fully inclusive here, guys. So if you want facial hair on any body type, you got facial hair on any body type. That is up to you guys.
fair enough.
So on the eyebrows, I'm just going to leave them because we can't really see them anyways.
Now imagine if your
But
character
for the
dies,
hair,
you have to
I
do
really
this
like
all over
dyeing
again.
this hair a certain color, sort of, something in the darker range. I'm going to turn that down. I like the nice jet black. Look at the makeup bounce out. That looks cool. I'm going to turn up the dye, though, and I'm going to try to carry my same theme forward here. There we go. And then I'm going to give it a bit of a fall off, as we can do, so it's just on the
Yeah, that
tips
looks
there.
sick, guys.
So let's see
Look at
that in
that.
action.
Fair freaking play. Love that.
All right. So now, at first, we weren't sure about that character, right? But in the end, I think she turned out, definitely. So you go to a review, sign off your declaration again, and head to game. So, I'm really lucky to be able to sit in front of this. And again, it was a huge amount of work from tech art, engineering, designers, and specifically the Squadron feature team that has done all this work. And one of the cool things to note is that we use this now internally as a tool. That's why it's me up here demoing this. This is our tool internally for creating all these heads, for creating all the NPCs in the verse. Because as Chris put it one time, he doesn't want his NPCs to look lame. He wants them to look cool. And this gives you cool looking characters. Thanks a lot, guys.
What? Great reference. Is this what the microphone moving?
It works. All right, we're behind on schedule, so let's welcome the Life in the First Person crew. Take it away. I'll be here. I'm busy.
Absolutely love that. That is hilarious. Anyone who didn't watch it yesterday is just like, what just happened? So we're going straight into the next panel. I wanted to take a moment to share
Hello, everyone.
mango flavored Pepsi. I'm going to try it.
You know, it's
I have no idea what it's going to taste like.
Am I too early? No. It's a real pleasure to be here at CitizenCon in person. I've had so much fun. Thank you all. But my name is Jens. I'm here from Manchester. I'm going to talk to you about some improvements.
Manchester. It's pretty
Play
good.
Traversal.
Love the mango Pepsi.
So we're going to start in Zero G, where
Is
we've
it
been
just a UK
rebuilding
thing?
the EVA experience from ground up.
I'm going to try it.
So the
Oh
first
my-
thing you should see is
Shoot, that
we've
tastes-
made the exit from gravity less disorientating.
This is like, what is happening? I just missing the presentation.
Oh, we're going to face plant. We made it.
No face plant.
All right, so we made the re-entry much more forgiving.
Uninstalling. I like the face plants.
So this EVA has a new prone lateral pose, and this is really important.
Wow, that
It
looks
allows us
so
to get
good.
close to surfaces, and it allows us to walk across them. So we can see that in this video here.
We saw a bit of this last year.
Okay, and as it gets to the end, we're going to jump off. Okay, here we go. Into that. And this smaller profile lets us get into spaces we couldn't get into before, or not easily with the old EVA. We're going to traverse through here.
Oh my
thread
goodness,
the
this
needle.
is so cool.
And also, the collision is much more forgiving. We're going to slide off at slower speeds, so we're not going to be
I
spinning
love how
away.
you can look behind you
Okay,
as
big
you're
reveal.
EVAing. That is amazing.
Love this station. This is amazing. And we're also adding grips. So in the interiors, you might be able to hold on to grips to do interactions.
Oh,
and
no face
walk
plant.
between the grips to get
I kind of like the face plant. It's not an Idris,
no,
it's a reclaimer.
Thank you very
That
much.
look, honestly, that was so good. Did I say it was an Idris?
So now Pro
No.
has long been a problem motion set for us, right? But taking these EVA posing solutions we saw, we can now rotate around the camera without any lateral translation. So we're not rotating around the hips anymore.
That's pretty cool.
And it allows you to aim much better. We're also not moving the body, so we don't need to worry about the external collisions anymore.
we
Right? We're not going to get pushed around.
That looks great.
Of course, prone isn't all about looking around. We want to traverse as well. So we're going to head down this vent. And here we put in a new collision style. So this is all about letting you have control in narrow, small spaces, smaller than this. We're going to be able to push around the corners. We're going to go run tight bends. And we're going to be able to reliably go up and down slopes. And this is where prone led the way. So we then took this and we put it into the EVA. So if I turn off gravity here, which I'm not going to do, but if I did, the EVA would have been able to traverse the exact same place. And by having these motion sets so similar, we can exchange success between them. And that could then be done to other horizontal sets, like prone light sets, for example, like the water world showed it.
It looks good, guys. I don't.
Yesterday, we might be able to take
Where is the
swimming
alien?
there one day. So.
Yeah, I want to know where we are right now. Is this?
Okay, we're gonna move up from the horizontal to the vertical.
Ladders.
So with ladders, we put in some new subtle and significant improvements. So we got midpoint markups.
Oh, that's
the ladder is
oh,
anywhere.
that's so good. That's brilliant.
We're gonna let you look around so you can do 360s. We're gonna let you lean on the ladders so that you can avoid obstacles or peek around corners.
Wait until I'm
And
in
this is
video
all
going,
kind of
hey
full
guys,
new
look at me.
animation set. It looks amazing,
leaning in the
especially
ladder.
with all this beautiful star cloth.
It's gonna happen.
You know, you got both the hood and the cape there. It looks amazing.
This is
Okay, so with combat, we wanted to add more speed to the encounters. So what we've done is we've removed the weapon penalty, so you can move at the same speed with and without the weapon out.
oh, interesting.
We've reduced the inertia, so you're going to be able to push up to your desired speed faster. And this is already in 320 and 321, and we've got more things like this to come.
Oh, right. So we should have already noticed that.
Right,
Okay.
so I didn't just want to talk about improvements. I've hinted at swimming, but I'm going to show you a different feature, right? So sliding.
Oh.
So with the power slide, you inject a burst of speed.
Freaking power slide. What is this Call of Duty? That looks so good.
This doesn't just take you from A to B faster. You're going to have a reduced profile. You become a smaller
It looks
target.
so slick compared to what we've
It
got
doesn't
now.
come for free. You know, you're sprinting, so that's going to cost you stamina.
Yeah.
You're sliding, that's going to add some stamina cost. And when I do it back to back like this, my
Slide
heart rate
cancelling.
is just pumping, 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 right? So you got to be a bit careful. You can't just slide your whole
Don't
way
overpump,
from
guys.
the hubs to the spaceport.
Don't overdo it.
Okay, so another thing that is really important to us is that with the slide, it's a short duration, but we want interactivity as soon as possible. And
I
that's
really
true
like
of
the
all
idea
our
that you
motion
can
sets.
slide
Gonna go
into
through
cover.
all
That's
of them
great.
and give you interactivity. So with the slide, we want you to be able to aim around as soon as possible. The moment you hit the ground, you're going to be able to aim around, all right? And the direction
Oh,
is
look at
locked.
that,
So if I was to
slick.
slide from one end of the stage to the other, I would be sliding this way, but I'd be looking this way, right? And look at you guys, hey. But while I'm sliding, I can hip fire. And as I come out in the exit, I can ADS, I can lean.
Solid.
I could go back to sprint right away. So I could do back-to-back slides,
Back-to-back
like we
slides.
saw in the last video.
Next slide, please. Oh,
Okay, so moving beyond traversal, just to
if
finish
you're not
this
from the
section,
UK, that's
I want
not
to talk
funny.
about new hazard. Now you saw this yesterday in
Next
the
slide,
UI
please.
demo.
Oh, chilling.
Um,
Everyone who's not from the UK just went.
I lost my phone. Bone, can you press the button?
Can you
That's it.
slide into your ship?
Okay, radiation. Right,
definitely.
so radiation, for that, it's a new addition to this active status system. And we need to look at the bottom left here. So in the middle, you got the amount of radiation that being pushed on your body. If you have a directional source, it's based on your body surface and your distance to that source. So by going behind the cover here, I can completely cut off all the radiation. So I can use that.
Wow.
And then on the left, we have an icon that has a shield around it.
Oh, look at
Now,
the poor
that shield
Pico.
works in two ways. Right? First of all, it comes from your outfit.
It's the
so
most
depending on
excited
what
I've got
you're
so
wearing,
far
you're
today.
going to have a better or less accurate shield.
That's not
right?
true.
It has a threshold. As long as your radiation doesn't exceed the threshold, the shield will hold true. It'll scrub all the radiation off, and you can stay there as long as you like.
Right, okay,
But
so
as
you've got a
the
cap.
shield starts peeling off, then when the radiation gets higher, the shield will peel off. And you know the radiation sickness kicks in right at the end of the video here, and my health just deteriorates super, super quick.
You're dying.
So yeah, that's not great. Okay, so we're gonna see some more radiation in the next section. So I would like to welcome Inesh up on the stage. Thank you very much, everyone.
Next slide, please. When is that coming out? It looks so good.
Why are we showing that? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Inês, and I'm a gameplay programmer here at CIG. And I'm here today to tell you all about... Thank you. And I'm here today to tell you all about...
I love how she just walks up on stage like, why are we showing this?
To improve the
What is
player
this?
interaction experience with
Love
the
it.
physical objects
Total
in
pro.
the world. So let me start by telling you what we've made to make it easy for you to identify and interact with these objects in the world.
Oh my word, this is actually massive.
Interaction prompts, which are AR cards that appear over the objects as the player gets near them.
Oh, it looks so much
Combining with
better.
scanning will help the player to easily identify the interactable objects in the scene. So we have improved the algorithm that our interaction system uses to determine the current item in focus. So you'll have a smarter detection and selection as you move around and look around the scene. So the prompts will show you the active interaction and the key bind that you can use to quickly trigger it, like you see on the pictures. So we are trying to minimize the friction of the player to interacting with these objects. You no longer have to go into interaction mode to bring up the cursor, then drag it over, and to select using the inner thoughts. So we're removing that. What happens if an object has more than one interaction? Well, for that, you can just simply hold F, and this will bring you the new interaction wheel. So this is our new interaction wheel.
Oh, we're not seeing gameplay though. This makes me sad.
And you can see that up to 2 of the interactions have a star icon. So this is related to another system that you are bringing to you that we call in the default item actions. So this allows us to have a primary interaction, that's the one that shows on the prompt, and a secondary interaction. So these are default actions that you can easily trigger using shortcuts. So these actions will change based on the combination of the item, the player, and the environment state. And although designers do choose the default actions that we bring to you, you are fully able to customize them to fit your preferences and playing style. So let's take a look at this in action.
Oh, we do have gameplay. Sweet. Oh, it looks so clean.
Here you can see the prompts that change depending on your focus. So let's bring up the wheel. And I really like my plushies, so I want to inspect them when I find them around. So I'm changing that to my primary.
I want to inspect my
plushie. Not affect only the item they're interacting with, but any item that falls into the same category.
Sorry, chat. It's like she's out of breath. It's hard public speaking, guys.
Okay. So I've shown you some features that improve.
I love that. Like, the UI is really cool.
So I've shown you features that improve the readability and easiness of interacting with the objects in the world.
Lights off.
But the other part of our focus was to bridge the disconnection between the player and the object you are interacting with. In a fully physicalized world that we want to provide you, a tactile experience is very important to sell the experience. So we've introduced a new system that allows us to play animations on the player of actually reaching out and physically touch the objects in the world.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's actually huge. That will really
So our main goal was to give you a better immersion, but at the same time minimizing the friction and the control we take away from you. So this really was an exercise between code, design, and animation to give you the best experience possible. Let's see some of this in action.
Also, I think all the people...
pressing buttons has never been so satisfying and fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Love that. The hand comes out and presses it.
I just kind of like go...
That's really good. I love that. Chat. You hype for that. All these developers, they're not meant to... their job description isn't a public speaker. Oh, yes. Smack that. Love that. So, give these guys credit. They're all doing... No one has gone up on stage and done badly. Everyone's done really good. 105,000,003.
Okay, so let's continue with this theme of tactile experiences. The next thing I want to talk to you about are usable interactables. So usables are objects that have existed in our game for a very long time. And designers have had a variety of tools to build these really interesting and complex sequences for the AI.
I don't
But
think
up
she's
until now,
terrified,
what
chat.
we
I
could
think
do
she's
for
just
the
out of breath
player
because she's
was
talking
very
fast.
limited. So this past year, we've been building up our tools that provided for designers that designers could build these really interactive experiences but for the player. And the advantage of using the usable system is that anything that the player will be able to do, the AI will also be able to do. So let's have a look at a simple demo that one of our designers put together to see what we can now achieve.
Also,
So in this
guys, be
scenario,
freaking positive.
the
She's doing
player
amazing.
has to go forward but can't go forward because of the toxic water. So he has to go over to the valve to turn off the water. So before we could maybe play a
Be
simple
better,
animation
chat.
when you interacted, but now designers can give full manual control to you. So you, by pressing the specific inputs, you will be driving the system.
I love the fact
But this
there's
is
the
not
animations
enough. We
and
needed
stuff.
to
It
be
looks
able
so
to give
cool.
designers a way to translate what the player is currently doing and affect other objects in the world in specific ways. So this is what is happening here. As the player is turning the valve, is controlling the flow of the water that's coming from the pipes. And what should happen when the player is no longer in control? Do we want to keep the state, revert back to the initial one, or maybe trigger something else altogether?
Oh, man, you need
it's up
new-
to designers
you need
to
new valve.
define the
That
type
thing's
of
faulty.
experience they want to bring to you. So let's
I can hear Bob saying, Ollie, turn the
Finally,
valve.
turn
I've
off
turned
the
the valve. It still
turn off
keeps
our
leaking.
valve, rush over before that
No puddle
broken
tech, though.
valve starts
Disappointed.
turning off, and then see another small example. Oh.
This environment
So,
looks
yeah,
really
you'll
cool.
see
I
another
really
small
want to
example
walk around here.
where you won't be able to open the door by a press of a button, but you have to manually interact with that
Ooh.
pump and manually open it. So
Scanning.
you'll have to time your inputs to slowly open the door. So this is just a small taste of the level of interactivity that we can now have.
I
with
want
these
this in the
objects.
game now.
We had really nice results for Squadron, for the mess hall line, and I can't wait to see what the PU designers will create and bring up to your hands. Thank you.
More plushy interactions.
Thanks. Okay, let's quickly talk about kiosks and terminals. And let's be honest, it's really hard to interact and get a good view of these ones. So we made a small little changes to make it easier for you. We've created a new focus mode that will walk the player to perfectly align with the kiosks.
I love
So we
the
can better
hands.
perfectly frame
And
the screen on
Open
the
the door.
viewport. At this
Dunk.
point, the interactive
it's cool.
screen will steal the input focus until you actively chooses to leave. So let's take a look at this in action.
Look at this shop. It looks awesome.
And look at that. When you trigger it, and yeah, so this is a very small quality of life improvement, but it will make it much easier for you to interact with these kiosks.
Nice.
And finally, let's talk about looting. This is our new looting screen. It's not replacing the inventory, but it will be used when you're looting a body or any other lootable that you find in the world.
Loot
so
goblin
specifically designed
activated.
to improve this experience. So since looting is a common action during FPS combat, especially if you haven't fully prepared ahead, we wanted to make it as easier and quick as possible, so you could spend the minimum amount of time to grab any items you need from your target. So it displays the current loadout and a simplified version of the inventory.
As long as I don't have to
Looting
open his trousers each time.
favors speediness, while the inventory
To
is
search
there,
for a
so you
golden
can
ticket.
fully manage your loadout. So we're still actively working on it, and this is especially on the UI and art, but I want to give you a little sneak peek how this all works.
That's great. You can just see what magazines he's got, see what magazines you've got. Sounds amazing.
Okay, let's go over to so you see the player loader is on
Drag.
items on
Love
the bottom,
that.
the target is on the
Chat,
top.
I love this.
You can if you hover the different widgets, you'll see a tooltip that with the different quick actions you can do. You can just simple press.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah, it'll be so much easier. So yeah, you can quickly press to just
This
equip
is so
or
much
swap.
better.
You can even use your mouse wheel if you want to change the target. You can drop anything, swap.
Yeah, you
start
guys
anything,
know
just
I need the
really quick
looting to
actions.
work because I
And
don't go into
you'll
bunkers
see in a
with
minute
anything.
that we also
so-
can trigger ammo repooling. So this will grab all available ammo either from your target or from your inventory, and will fill up the magazines in your loadout and get rid of
somehow
any
I
empty
survive.
magazines. So yeah, looking really good.
Yeah, you should be really proud of that. That
Yeah,
looks
so it's looking really good, and I can't wait to see the final art. So that's all from me. So thank you so much
No,
for
it's not.
listening. And I
What?
hope you have a great time.
I wanted to see that video. She did great.
Right, hello everyone. For those who cannot remember, my name is Jens, and I'm now going to talk to you about some changes we made to our stealth gameplay, and I'm going to
Oh, that's
give
what
you an
that video
update
was.
on
Okay.
weaponware. Right, so takedowns is an important part of our stealth encounters. So this is where we're going to
Right,
add some
this is where the video
player
comes in.
skill progression. So going to move you through different action sets. You're going to start out by struggling.
Whoa,
You might fail.
dude, what the?
Of course, this sort of added time and the extra noise you're making is really going to
Oh, they're so
increase
visceral.
the
Is that the word?
risk of detection. You're going to get faster the more you do
Damn.
it.
Whoa!
And then you're going to reach maximum efficiency. Check this one out. So he's so fast you can barely see him do it. And then he guides the body to the floor so it makes almost no noise, right?
So if you're good at it, it's like
We're
whoppa.
going to explore some more variation beyond our unarmed and our knife
No, I
takedowns.
want more video.
Like
That was
sedative
insane.
Injection pens
It was
and
brutal.
contextual takedowns. So this guy on the railing here, let's see what we can do about him.
Lift his legs up.
So by using the environment, we can do a more efficient takedown than maybe our skill level would have allowed.
Oh, my
And
nose
it certainly
just
looks
hurt.
a lot cooler. And we're going to be able to use this to get to enemies that might be otherwise difficult to get to with our normal takedowns, like a pilot strapped into his pilot seat, sneak up on him and take him out.
We don't. The noise is so brutal.
Okay, so in that last video, we incapacitated that enemy a lot.
Fatality.
I'm going to introduce you to a new weapon, a new item, sorry, and that's the restraints. So with the restraints, okay, let's take him down first.
This is now Hitman.
One more. Oh. Okay, so with the restraints, we're going to turn him over. We're going to cuff his hands. We're going
Look
to
at
cuff
this.
his
It
legs.
looks like a freaking movie. I could totally see Jason and Bob being like,
Now, if
Ollie,
he wakes
take
up,
the
he
handcuffs
can't
off
chase
me.
us down, right?
Whatcha?
But he could call out for help. So what we're going to do as well is we're going to add places in the environment where you can stash a body. You can hide them,
Oh my
either
God.
unconscious or dead. And that way you should be easier to remain undetected and keep you in that
This is what
stealth mode.
happens when you take my plushie, Jason.
Now, this is another thing we talked about in the UI demo, which is the ping. And we saw it in Inesh's presentation.
Oh, here we go.
She
This
did
is
a short
really
ping
cool.
to highlight a door pump. Now, of course, we allow you now to charge up that ping. And by doing so, we can see further.
Look
we
at
can
that.
see through obstacles. And we can populate more information into our data bank. That then
They do a hard
shows up in
scan.
our,
Oh my
box
word.
arts here. So you get the name, and you maybe get the race, and maybe the faction. And you can use this
That's
information
so
to figure out
clever.
where is the weak link, which enemies can I take down without being discovered. There's a risk here, okay? So there's a charge up time, means you can't do it all the time. It's going to recharge slowly. You see the bar at the top slowly going down. Until that goes all the way down, I can't ping. I can't even do a short ping. And it's going to spike my emissions or my signature. So an enemy with the right equipment or tech level might discover me.
Bob just made me laugh in
Okay,
chat.
so
I gotta read that out.
let's move on to some talk about.
Gonna turn Ollie into a
weapon
living
wear.
restrained fidget
So
spinner
here we're
in
going to see
zero
a
G.
simulation of a weapon getting more and more worn over time.
Oh, this is cool.
We're going to expand this beyond weapons to other FPS items like your armor, your clothing, your helmets. In actual game, this would be triggered by weapon usage, right? So the more you fire your gun, the more worn it's going to get. And this is going to affect its efficiency. It's going to affect its reliability.
it's like really-
and it's going to reduce its resale value.
It's gonna mean like the subscriber stuff is like a lot more.
Item is gonna
my
wear
weapon,
it at its own
you know?
rate and persist at its own rate. So you could have a worn rifle with a pristine scope or a pristine rifle with a worn scope.
That's sick.
check this one out. There you go.
I think that looks awesome. I love that.
So the geometry isn't the only thing that's going to change as your weapon wears. So here we're going to see a pristine Gemini pistol in the little window and a worn one in the big window. And you can see the visual effects. It's belching out smoke here because it's very worn, right? It's telling you, you know, it's time to get this one changed. And you should be able to hear the audio as well. It's get growlier.
So does that?
Okay, on to some consequences. So
I wonder if you can.
It's not all visual.
Oh, no.
So we're going to stop with misfire. So the first thing that's going to happen is you press the trigger, your gun doesn't fire. The second thing that happens in this video, you got. I hope you guys know what's happening. So he goes and then it goes click. That's the bullet getting lodged in the chamber, right? So we got to fix it. So it's telling us to fix it. We're hitting the button. Our enemy's firing on us. So you got some options. You don't have to fix it. You could holster your gun. You could pull out a new gun. You could use that new looting interface that Ines showed to grab a better gun. Okay.
I want to know, can you fix up a gun
and
it stays looking
tangentially
worn,
related to wear? And that's the dirt accumulation.
Filthy
So here again,
weapon.
we're going to see a simulation of dirt accumulating over time on the same rifles we saw before. But in the actual game,
we already have
that. Based on your activities and the environment.
That was one bug,
so
guys.
if you're running around in a sandstorm, you're rolling in mud, you leave your gun outside proper storage.
Sounds like
it's going to accumulate dirt.
something I would do.
That's going to increase the rate at which it wears. So the dirtier your gun is, the faster it will wear out. And this is true for other biome accumulations.
All
like,
my weapons
frost.
are going to look like they're covered in
So let's take a look at
dust.
this one as well. Oh, or not. Okay, so yeah. So in the future, it's going to be really important that you keep your guns clean and repaired. I'm now going to welcome Zach on stage, and he's going to talk to you more about the FPS weapons. Thank you very much.
So we're going to have ships that are going to have like workshops where you can clean and fix your weapon, because that would make a lot of sense, right?
Hello, I'm Zach Priest. I'm a senior FPS game designer. I'm here to share some of the new, interesting FPS things we have to bring you.
Squadron 42
if you play
shirt,
modern
let's
shooters,
go.
you'll have noticed the quality bar has gone through the roof in recent years. Things from visual recoil to VFX, just overall general weapon feel. As you know, we recently did a pass on our weapons to get them a bit more up to speed, but we couldn't hit that quality bar that we really wanted to. Because guns are violent in nature, we couldn't portray that as much as we wanted to. So, we made a new
keep
tool.
drinking that?
And it allows us to show the violent nature of weapons while, creating greater weapon-to-weapon variety, So, this new tool also integrates better with other systems. For example, you just saw like wear and dirt and things like that. And I'm extremely proud to show you the new weapon recoil. So this is the old P4. It kind of falls a bit flat. You're not really getting that like oomph that you want. But you've probably shot this a million times.
It's true. Now he's going to show me
Now
something.
the new P4, it has these nice little bot downs, and you feel it getting close to the camera, and the overall aggression of the weapon
Yeah,
is
it feels more
It feels a lot more
impactful.
visceral when you fire it.
Visceral, that's what I was
This
trying
new
to
tool
think
gives
of.
us granular
I said
control
visceral.
over the movements of the
Visceral.
weapon. So essentially what we have in one of our tools now is almost an animation tool where we can control the rotation and the location of things. So this is the old PA SMG. This is a new one.
It just looks a lot more impactful and visceral.
And in general, it's bringing the house down now. So recoils are just, in general, easier to tweak now. And they're a lot more impactful, and we can create weapon variety.
Oh, the red smoke there, you
just
see that?
far new, more and interesting ways.
I love the Custodian. It's a great weapon.
Okay. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Love that. ADS improvements.
We also have new procedural animation over our ADS. So previously, as if you play right now, you basically have a linear pose-to-pose transition. And sure, it's there, but now we layered some of this procedural stuff on top. So for example, if you have an SMG, it can come up a lot quicker, it can flick up, you feel really cool. LMGs can be a lot more heavy. So before it basically just do, move from pose to pose.
FS9s are
But now we
getting
can
nerfed,
like
guys.
keep it longer down here, bring it up slowly, and overall it just feels like you've got an LMG or it feels like you've got an SMG. We're just using things like, ease in and ease outs and just give more life to the overall weapon. Oh, there we go. And we also have new iron sights. So sci-fi weapons are chonky. They're full of detail. They look really cool, but a lot of that detail can potentially get in the way sometimes. So you've seen this is a change to the Kana, where we have raised the weapon sight and given what we call the target acquisition window more room to breathe. So if you're aiming at somebody, you can just
that is definitely one of the criticisms I've had in the past.
Optics aren't a crutch anymore. So you can see this on the Ravager.
You can actually see what you're shooting
Custodian.
at. They're not useless sights anymore.
Now, weapon functionality changes. So as you imagine with the new recoil tool, we're going to do a pass on all the existing weapons. They're going to look and feel great.
Arc-Light is now burst?
While we were looking at our weapons, we also realized that some things don't necessarily, align with their manufacturer, right? You look at something like a Gemini pistol. Now, Gemini overall, it's rule of cool. Like, that's what Gemini is supposed to be. So the LH86 pistol should be fully automatic, realistically. So we have a video to show you of the pistol.
Oh my word.
And as you can see, it goes ballistic when you fire it. The magazine count has also increased to allow for that just crazy feeling that the pistol gets.
Insane. Yeah, and hopefully they'll show us the new Volt weapons, which we've seen in the subscriber updates, I think.
Right, and moving on to our new Volt weapons.
It's like I've already seen the script.
Oh, it's the other video. That's the optic one. There you go. Thank you. These are the Volt weapons. So Volt is primarily based around controlling a heat of a weapon. These weapons have the potential to overheat. And if they overheat, you'll be unable to fire. And they will enact differently. So some weapons will just basically be beams from the get-go. Some will go into beams. Like you see, this one goes into a beam once it reaches a certain level of heat. And it's really fun because these are quite powerful weapons, and you basically want to manage the heat and keep it in that ideal spot. Okay, cool.
It's what you need to destroy a mech.
Scope improvements. Now, this was shown yesterday, but I want to dig in a little bit more with this one. So,
why is Jared walking up on stage?
Cool. So, to get if anyone plays a modern FPS, they know that optics are just gorgeous now. In all modern shooters, they look fantastic. And as you can see, we have zoomed in optics in the center.
Oh, so good.
And then we have other things like parallax, like you see in real life. And they look gorgeous.
Yeah,
and so in general, all our sights and scopes have been overhauled to be more realistic with things like parallax, pincushion distortion, and things you'd expect from having a scope in general. And it differs manufacturer to manufacturer, right? So some things are purely digital, some things are purely physical. So if you get hit by an EMP grenade, for example, we're using something like a television sight, like something like Cluey might have, then your optic would turn off. All right. Thank you.
Oh, they're trying to fix something on behind the desk. You see that?
And weapons are ultimately as only good as they sound. I'll be quiet for this next bit. But as you know, we've done a lot of work on our audio propagation systems and just in general how guns sound. We've also switched out some noises and made them feel a lot more beefy.
Beefy? I hate the sound of the P4. I feel like the audio is... something's going on. I feel like there's... because that's not how it sounds. Ooh. I feel like they've got a microphone on somewhere. Yeah, the crowd loves the FS9.
Fantastic. I think all of California heard us there.
Oh, that's why we heard it
backpack reloading. In real-life combat scenarios,
they played it really loud and it was picking
from other surplus areas. I want to simulate that in our game.
Hopefully they do a video on that.
To show you this, we have something called backpack reloading. If you run out of ammo in Star Citizen, you have to open a menu, put things on. It's a little bit clunky, it's a little bit awkward. So if you have magazines in your backpack, you will now be able to grab them at the price of a longer reload animation.
Oh.
You will also be able to tell when you have a backpack reload coming up because it will be displayed on the inventory with the backpack symbol. So there's no surprises, no catching of. You have all the information you need.
I love that. That's a really cool feature.
And this has been shown, and it's been teased a little bit, the dynamic crosshair. Now, no more third-party dynamic crosshair, well, crosshairs now. So, if you have a look at this is our new crosshair. It's a crosshair that fits the aesthetic of Star Citizen. It's a crosshair that follows the barrel of the weapon, so you'll see exactly where a bullet is going to land. And it's projected from the visor using AR. Some visors won't have access to this crosshair, but some will use modified combat lenses. So if you don't want to use the crosshair, you can just use a different visor. As you can see, it works with recoil.
Choose different armor,
overall,
bro.
It just looks gorgeous.
What do you think, guys? Move cam. Ah, sorry, guys. Oh, no. I feel terrible.
And on to more data things.
No.
We're going to provide an improved PvE experience. The accuracy
I've moved my camera around like 8 times.
From Squadron 42.
I'll just leave it here.
Some
Clearly,
people
this
have been
is the
playing
least
it in the
important part
venue
of
in here, and I've been harassing them, whoever's doing the hangar mission, to get their feedback, and it has been overwhelmingly positive.
I'll put it back here.
We also have new NPC archetypes, what we're temporarily calling the Juggernaut, which is basically a very high damage resistant enemy that has an LMG or a shotgun. As soon as they see you, they fire, they walk up to you. And overall, it's been playing amazingly, and I'm really happy for you guys, well, I'm really excited for you guys to get your hands on it at one point. PvP, we want to increase the time to kill. This allows for more varied weapon balancing. You know, we can lay into like sort of different aspects of the element more. It leads to higher skill ceiling and less unfair deaths.
I'm happy about this change.
It will no longer be a game of whoever shoots whoever first. Speaking of which, force reactions. We're reworking them. We're aware it's frustrating, and we are going to rework the system to work beautifully. And we're also working on some other highly requested PvP changes.
Which are?
I'm very happy to say a lot of this work has been dialed in for Squadron 42, is in a very good state, and we're bringing this to you soon. Now, over to the AI director, Fran, to share some exciting updates on combat AI.
Okay, cool. I will quickly say, while we've got a moment, that this stuff looks awesome, and I wish it was coming in the game soon.
So, I'm Francesco Roccucci, as you said, and I'm the AI director in CIG. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you guys. It's fantastic. So, what we're going to do today is to explore how all the work we've done for Squadron 42 is going to flow into the Star Citizen experience. So we wanted to make the AI presentation about how you guys are going to experience the tech and the features we have been working on. So from the player perspective, you've seen how many new opportunities you have. And now it's interesting to see how the NPC are going to react to that. So the goal of Star Citizen is to build a breathing and living environment where your actions matters, and the NPC you will find in the universe needs to have the same opportunities and same limitations that you have. I love the way he says universe. So when we play a game, we want you to spend the time that feels memorable, that feels special, right? Something you can remember and talk about. So we want you to give you a challenge to overcome, but also a challenge that is fun and doesn't feel repetitive and boring. So when we look at FPS Encounter, we want to build variety. We want to give the designers, like Zach, the ability to craft combat scenarios, not just to put NPC in the level. And we need to make sure that he can tweak something such that he can experience the unique play style and the play space that you have. So Star Citizen can benefit from tons of unique environments. So for those environments, we want you to have different type of fun. So what we look at today is some of the tools that they have to achieve this goal and bring the AI to the next level. So the first tool we're going to look at today is the NPC trait system. We spoke about this in the past. We have now available for designers the initial set of traits they can use to influence the behaviors. So those are some of the ones that are available to the designers. Today we're going to focus on the combat traits, because we have traits that also apply to the peaceful situation and the social environment, but those are the ones that influence NPCs during a combat scenario. And traits, you can imagine them as characteristics NPCs have or don't have. So through the usage, we can make sure the combat feels different from one encounter to another.
That is a juicy
Traits
screenshot
in tech,
of the Bengal, by the way.
tech-wise, are just traits
I want
and tags that we can apply to character instance, character classes, but code can also apply them automatically based on specific rules. For example, if you see somebody with a rocket launcher, those will apply, an example, the sentry trait automatically, because those weapons are weapons that work well at range, so you want them to not push forwards to you.
If anyone at CIG is
so
watching
they allow to block.
I really want that
actually,
wallpaper.
They allow or they block
Please.
specific section of the behaviors to run.
You know
but
who
they
you
also
are.
influence the likelihood of some logic to happen, or they modify the outcome of specific actions. So let's imagine we want to model a pirate faction, something that you can actually experience in the Pyro playground. So we want them to feel aggressive, but also not very trained. They are not very military.
They are stupid.
So how do we do it with the traits? We can start adding to this faction either the aggressive or reckless trait.
There's no stupid
Those
category.
are traits that increase the risky behaviors.
Blind
so for
fire.
example, fighting more in open space or expose themselves longer when they are in cover. We can then assign to some of those pirates the ignore fire obstruction trait. As you've seen, for example, in Chris Rain presentation during the CTG demo, we have now destructible environment. So what the NPC will try to do is to keep shooting at the position the enemy has been hiding into. So you will see destroying environment, but you will also see them being less careful and managing their ammos.
That's
For
cool. I love
others,
that.
we could use the undisciplined trigger finger trait. So this trait is, for example, meant to convey the inability to control their weapon when they are emotionally engaged in the fight. And what it will cause is them to trigger the weapon much longer also just a bit longer compared to what the behavior is.
When you die.
So being better at preserving their ammo means they will also run out of bullets much quicker. So this offers interesting opportunities for players because they can now shoot at them while they reload or while they scavenge the environment.
Hell, what's the Ollie trait? Going in absolutely
So traits are
unprepared,
building
but
blocks
still
we can
winning.
use to define how character, faction, or encounter should feel. And designer can now create a wide variety of encounters for you guys to enjoy the game. So I want to paint a picture for you guys. So this is the bunker mission in Pyro, right? And we have a set of enemies that are defending the environment.
It is the only Pyro
Imagine
mission.
an infiltrate and destroy mission. Those guys are there defending the bunker. You need to take it over. You need to
translation
basically kill them all.
This can't be the only mission.
You are
in
now
Pyro.
fighting against enemies that they defend the environment.
That's cool.
So before we go to the next slide, imagine the same environment, very similar enemies, but different traits, same behavior. So now you are defending an environment and they are aggressive towards the environment. They want to take it. So what you will see here is that created a mix of enemies, some equipped with, for example, shotgun and aggressive traits. Now they will push towards you. They will force you to take actions and to react to them.
That's cool.
They reload.
That guy's pretty dumb. He's not behind
Some
cover.
will cover up.
Slowly walking towards you.
Obviously, this is with God mode on, so Zach was not dying.
They did say they were
So this is
lowering
possible to set up with
the
a
time to
pickup
kill.
box.
I'm joking.
But this is not just enemies, because in Star Citizen, we want you to hire your own crew members. And those crew members, those characters, will have different personalities, different traits,
Crew members?
different training level that they can build up.
He's not
But
talking
when
about
you look at
PU,
their
surely.
traits, we want you to see their strengths and their weaknesses, so that you
Right?
can pick
He's
the
not
one
talking
that
about
either match
PU.
your play style or compensate your play style.
Can I name my crew members?
So one good thing that we want to show you today is the medic. So there are some NPCs that can carry, obviously, med pants, but not everybody is able to use it well or wants to use it in a specific encounter. So we want to tweak this, and we have the medic trait.
Yeah, Squadron 42.
Here we combine a lot of the tech that we have spoken in the past, usable tech, behavior tech. And as Jens showed you, players now can just not only kill enemies, because before our NPCs would just die, but now you can take them down, you can restrain them. So the eye perception needs to carry all this information about the different actor states. So it needs to know if he's down, but if he's still alive, or if it's just, somebody that you need to wake up. So a medic in the regular combat flow can, when it's safe to do so, and at the right time, attempt to heal his mate that can be helped. So now you can imagine guard patrolling the environment, you take down a character, the guard finds this body on the ground. He doesn't know if he's alive or not. So he can go there, he can check it, check the pulse, see the state, and if he can be helped, he can basically execute the right healing process.
Another dead guy.
If he needs a med pen, he will use the med pen. If he needs to shake him to wake him up, he will shake him up. And if he needs to unrestrain him, he will unrestrain him. And your crew members can also do the same with you. So if you are down in critical condition, they can come and help
Unskilled medic overdoses you.
We'll see now an example of this, where two factions are fighting. And you will see that at the right time, when the guy retreats, this guy can go there and heal his mate.
Adrenaline. He's like,
and obviously, he needs to pick up a new weapon because he just dropped it. So as we mentioned before, and as you've seen here, NPC can run out of bullets, but can also lose their weapons. So what we have to do right now is that, first of all, we want NPCs to have a concrete ammo pool to use. We don't want infinite ammos anymore.
You guys, I'm reading chat. You guys are so weirdly judgmental.
The ammo pool is actually constructed by the ammos the NPC carry in their weapons, the one that they carry, the one that might have, and all the magazines they carry. They don't have any more bullets out of that. So NPC must properly use those items to fight. And the longer the engagement, the more likely it is they will run out of bullets.
You're also pretty
and they will
funny.
have to scavenge the environment.
I can't approve this.
How do they do that? It's through the NPC, the usable system, as you've seen with Inesh as well, Inesh's presentation. You see that anything the player can interact with, the NPCs actually can, the same exact way. So the dead bodies can be looted, same as dropped weapons. Ammo crates will have physically inside some weapons, magazines. They can provide you with items. And the NPC can understand where you can find ammos that are actually functioning with their own weapons. And they actually can decide. For example, if it's better to reach an ammo crate and gather some new ammos, or if that is too far or towards the enemy, they can decide to pick up another weapon. So you will see that also already in the Empire, you might see Bob? It. And once they decide to do so, obviously they don't have bullets, so they cannot fight you. What they can do, they can also switch to their sidearms. And the sidearms is less effective, obviously, compared to the primary weapon, but it is still better.
Bob just put on my Discord
for them to protect themselves while they go around and they loot the
wallpaper I
environment.
wanted.
So we'll see here an example.
Can you put it on Google Drive so I can have the full resolution version?
Obviously, in this video, we give them a chance to go and loot as well. And this is a proper ammo crate that allows them to get back magazines. And another NPC arrives.
Does he have a backpack for unlimited ammo?
This is the same dead body you might be able to loot, and you will not find ammos after that.
No
but you will
bullets.
probably find it in the other one once you kill it. So, last but not least, another tool in the FPS arsenal is grenades. Grenades are a great tool. NPC can now fully react and use grenades
are a great tool.
in the environment.
I approve.
So grenades are a great tool, especially when an NPC needs to counter a player that is camping or a player that is hiding or say in a location that the NPC cannot reach. So grenade force the movement and keep the action going. But they're also very dangerous. You've seen in Ali's presentation and my presentation that a grenade can make electronics explode, ignite a fire, and then the fire can propagate in the environment. So NPCs need to properly understand the environment and not jump into the fire and get damaged. So how do we do that? Is we have a new full system to handle hazards.
Has zero cares about
basically,
fire
hazard
trait.
on the technical side can create a navigation volume modifier. And the navigation volume modifier gets registered in navigation system, and our basically mesh can be modified, and it will carry semantic about if that is a danger, something better, and how much costly it is to go through. Because maybe you have a suit that allows you to go through the fire, so that is fine. You will not, the NPC can understand that. But if they can't, they will try to find positions that are safe for them to position themselves, but also paths that will avoid those dangerous areas.
Yeah, we watched all the NPCs walk into fire yesterday. Yeah, that was dark.
This is a safe environment. Still fighting, but safe. Safer.
Plenty
what
of
will
bullets.
happen now?
Let there be
Fire
flames.
ignites and propagates. This is fully dynamic, so it's fully controlled by the
His
fire
accent's
system.
so cool.
The fire
I could
system
listen to it all
modifies volumes in the navigation system, and we really know where we can and not pass at any given moment.
That guy is getting shot up.
So this is a subset of the things that we worked on and we wanted to show you today. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to Jens.
Bunkers are going to turn into infernos. They're just going to be ovens.
Right, I want to thank Inesh, I want to thank Zach, and I want to thank Francesco for joining me on stage today. We want to extend a massive thank you to everyone who contributed to, supported us, and made it possible to show what we showed today. Now, with relentless optimism, we're looking forward to bringing you this all to the Star Citizen and more. Okay, we're going to leave you with a quick peek of a demo in Hangar 14 of Checkmate with some of these new features. Enjoy.
It's cool. Relentless optimism that it's coming into the game. I didn't... It's... I don't know, but that doesn't inspire confidence with relentless optimism. This looks pretty fleshed out. I don't know, like, bring it in the game. Oh, new loot. Oh, so much better. Should have led with the grenade. This is how I feel when I go into bunkers. Well, now I'm screwed. Yeah, Squadron 42 stuff, I know. But we don't even know... you can't even... They need to do the Squadron 42 segment, which I'm sure they'll get to. Because at the moment, there's a lot of when question, right? Honestly, the visibility in this place is really tough. Oh, what a shot. Medpen, what are you doing? You're bleeding, my man. Oh, the slide. There we go. Nice. The audio seems a bit out of sync. Oh, that's a grenade. Someone just lobbed a grenade behind it. Imagine me trying to make a video while this is all happening. Love it. Look at this. Take the grenade. You didn't take the grenade. Madness. You want to see the HUD? Alright. I thought... Okay, I'll be honest. I thought this bit would be down here. You can't see what I'm talking about. So I thought it would be like that. I thought this black bar at the bottom wouldn't be here. So you'd see the UI. My bad. I'll put it here. Is that alright? Put it back up in the corner for now. Oh, the sound of this weapon is absolutely delicious. See the wear on the gun as well? Wipe the blood off. Thumbs up. Nice.
Right. Thank you very much. I urge you all to come and join us in the Pyro Playground pit and have a go at Hangar 13 in Checkmate. It's a really great encounter. Thank you.
All right, so that was live from the first person. We're keeping this train running because we got a lunch to get to. Up next is Taking Flight with Yogi, Inez, and more.
Yogi.
Let's get it started. Boop.
Taking Flight. Wow, there's like no pausing. We're getting into the flight model for space and in atmosphere.
Hello, everyone. Is my mic on? Okay. Can you hear me? Fine. These are the wrong slides. Hang on. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Yogi Klatt. I'm a principal vehicle programmer at Cloud Imperium Games, and I focus on space flight and space combat. I really love my job, so this is why I'm really excited to show you the progress that we did on Squadron 42 in the last 2 years. So there's two things I need to say here. First thing is we're doing a live demo, and the build is about 12 hours old, so there is a good chance.
Coming in hot, boys.
There's a good chance for bugs, which, well, if you see them, just look away. It will be fine. The second thing is, I'm
it stresses
flying
me
myself
out.
today. It will be Brent Gunzinger.
Where's Bone? I want Bone. Bone, shoot that
He's
player.
using a setup of 2 VKB sticks, so left and right HOSA setup from VKB, and he's also using the fantastic Toby device. So we'll swap during the presentation between using head tracking and not using head tracking.
With our sponsor,
So,
Toby. There's a link in the
thing is,
description, guys, if you want
the
to
relationship
get a
between you
discount
and your
for
Starship,
a
it
Toby eye
doesn't start
tracking.
when you take off. It starts way before
Thank
that.
you for
There's a lot
Toby
of
for
stuff
also
we do now in
sponsoring my
pre-flight.
live streams.
So please welcome back Ines Caldas, who will walk us through that process.
The guy's got some fresh hair, man.
Is this working? Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's a
Why does
privilege
everyone
to
keep
be here
questioning
back
the
on
audio
stage
team?
To tell you all about what you can expect about the player interaction experience inside your
She's
cockpit.
back.
If you like, I've told you before how we've been working towards improving the player interaction experience all across our game, and we wanted to bring these improvements to what happens inside the cockpit.
He does have the Ollie
So we
33
wanted
setup,
to give you a
VKBs
greater
and the Toby eye
immersion
tracking.
and okay, yeah, the slides are not, sorry about that. Yeah, so you want to give you a greater immersion and give you a closer experience to what pilots go through in real life, not only when you're flying around your ship, but the moment you take your seat at the cockpit. So to achieve this, we've created when you enter your ship, you'll be put in what we call a new relax pose. So in this pose, you'll have free look enabled, so you can easily look around the cockpit and your dashboard.
Which works great with Toby eye tracking.
The
Use
prompts
the
will be
link in the
showing
description.
over the button, so you can easily find the ones you have
Great
to interact.
discount.
And you, the pilot, have to press all the different buttons to get your ship ready for flying, and the character hands will be lowered away from the control stick. So all of this blends neatly into our new player animated interaction system, whereby any button is now physically pressed. So this new system uses what we call a CDIK approach. This stands for code-driven IK, or inverse kinematics, and gives full control of the IK setup to the code. So this, among other things, allows us to record the path of the hand relative to its target. So we can have more detailed animations than just simply blending the hand into position. So for example, we can open a flap and then press the button. But enough of me talking, let's go jump into the demo and see all of this in action.
Tactile buttons and stuff. Oh my god, that looks insane. Look at that Pyro Station landing
you'll see
pad.
the new enter sequence. And you'll see the new animations we have been working on.
That looks sick. Honestly, that looks so good. Right, here we go. This is a big moment now.
Oh, it's all glowy.
putting his seatbelt on.
So you can see now that you won't directly grab the control stick. You'll be put onto this relaxed pose with free look enabled. And you can see the different prompts appear
I
over
love
the
it.
buttons.
I love
So
that it
let's
comes
get
up
this
with the
show
prompts.
started and
So
get
much
your
better.
ship ready for flying. So Brent, if you could close the canopy so we don't go flying around with that open. Power our systems. Oh, look at that. And finally, turn our entrance.
Oh,
Yeah,
and then
so
the sound.
you are now ready for flying. So we will be bringing all
Sounds
of
so
this to
good.
all of our ships in our fleet. And that's all from me. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Tony to tell you all about the new UI.
The UI looks fantastic. That is all I have to say. It looks brilliant.
Hi everyone, my name is Tony. I'm senior UI programmer here at CIG. And I'm here to explain some of the spoilers that you saw yesterday about our new ship UI. So, are you ready to see the ship UI in action?
Yeah, we are. We saw a little bit of it yesterday,
Bone,
but
play the demo. Brand, continue with the demo.
I love it. Even
So,
CIG
as you
are
can see
memeing
already,
the bone
this
thing.
ship has less intrusive UI, with more space to enjoy the stunning vistas that planets can offer, and less cluttered views.
I
can
feel
focus on
slightly
combat.
sorry for the
This also
girl
means
who kept
that
saying,
the UI elements are now more relevant to the
Bone,
situation,
do this, Bone, do
linked
that.
to the operator mode.
Because
For example,
she was doing,
when we
she was
change
just
to
doing a
scan
conference,
mode,
but
the crosshair has scanning information about your target, and even the MFDs have changed. Some
Wow.
of these elements can be customized, but we'll see more about that later.
I love this.
For this demo, we're showing the UI developed for this Gladius. Basic information related to navigation will always be available on your view, and this Gladius displays all of that with holograms around the dashboard.
Holograms.
But other ships may have different layouts and styles, on brand with the manufacturer.
It looks so
For
good.
example, the Drake, that makes more affordable ships, rather than fancy and probably expensive holograms, may use physical screens, dials, and light indicators.
Drake wouldn't have holograms.
This dashboard shows your current speed, the remaining afterburn, and some decoys available.
They haven't
On
got.
both far sides, we have status indicators that will show things like
I really
if you
wanted
landed
a
in Arizona
top-down
or
view
maybe any other
or a
flight
3D
systems.
view of parking.
Worth mentioning that we have prototyped
Landing.
these for the demo, so right now they're holograms, but on the final design, these are going to be physical screens. On the far left, on the top of the dashboard,
you know
we
what I'm talking
have the indicator of which master mode and operator mode are you on. So let's change that to combat and talk about these new MFDs. So we have reworked all of these MFDs from scratch with brand new views using our UI technology building blocks. We can still navigate through these MFDs using the classic mouse interaction, holding F and then moving the mouse. On the left here, we can see the scanning view, which is going to show information that you obtain when you scan a target. It may show information about the ship name, the pilot name, or even the current operator mode of your target, so you know if they're just chilling around or they are ready to fight you. Cycling to the left one, we have the target status, which will focus on emissions, damage, and orientation of your target.
Looks clean.
We'll see that in action later. The next one, continuing to the left, will be the self status, which is contextual. So during navigation, that will show your current fuel, but during combat, like right now, will show information about your guns. You can click on the gun, and you can see basic information about that. You will see the name, and you can also see in which group they are assigned, which Yogi will explain later. On the MFD on the right side, we have the power management, where we can distribute the power of different systems of the ship. You can click on the triangle and move it around to change the distribution, and you can turn down the total power of the ship.
I love how it has a usage percentage.
The classic key bindings that you all know already works. So when you change the power management, you will see now a triangle on top of the radar to show you the changes. Now, instead of using mouse, you can also use key bindings to select MFDs and cycle through the views, which might be faster when you are in certain situations like during combat. And for those pro players out there, we have added about 100 key bindings, and I mean 100, to navigate through all of these systems. So you can fully customize how you want to navigate through them.
As long as they don't reset
And I
the
really
keybinds.
hope that's more than enough to use on your keyboard, on your HOTAS, or even on your game class setup. But if you need more, just let us know. Anyway, I think you're not going to need even those many shortcuts. For each operator mode, we now persistently save which views are shown on each MFD. So you can customize what's important to you for every situation.
Nice. I'm trying not to talk over the
So
presentation.
as an example, during combat, you might want to have target information on your MFDs, but maybe when you change to quantum travel, have your current fuel, spend some time on the configuration screen, for example. Let's talk about this configuration screen. We're going to have now here a variety of options, from customizing UI elements to enable systems of the ship. We may see some of these later in action with Yogi. These settings are now available on this screen, not in the global settings of the game, for quick access.
That's really
So
cool that it's not in the
expect changes
game
on the settings that you already know,
It's like
but
in the
we'll tell
ship.
you all about it when we have it ready.
We want you to talk.
And the important bit about this is that they will persist to your
There's a
ship.
balance,
So you
chap.
can keep different setup of which UI elements
I did too
and
much
even
yesterday.
ship systems enable for how you personally use each of your ships.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I love the fact that these settings aren't in the menu. They're like in the ship.
Now, some of you
Like,
might be
that's really
thinking
cool.
that these Gladius settings have enough MFDs.
Yeah, 3D parking like Elite is
Can
kind
we
of what I
enable the
want.
top
Yeah.
setting?
So I don't have to go into third-person camera to land.
For those of you that you want to see even more information, you can now cast versions of these MFDs.
All right, I'm gonna have
your
to
helmet.
move my screen here. I don't know. Where should I put my face? Up here? Over
For
here
this,
for now.
you're going to need to equip the appropriate helmet.
There's nothing
so it's
down there
connected
right
to
now.
your ship, and I can get all this information.
This is beautiful. This is what the
You
game
can use the
used
key
to look like,
bindings, as I
right?
mentioned before, so you can select which cast do you want to control and how to cycle through them. So you can pin views that are important to you that will move with your camera. So as you have seen, if you're aiming at the target or if you're moving with your
Oh,
head
wow.
tracker, those views are going to be always with you.
That looks great.
With all these tools, you can customize your experience and have it ready for every situation that you encounter with your ship, always displaying the relevant information.
Here we go. Is this better?
So for example, during
Yes.
combat, you may want to have all the UI elements enabled,
How do I make
all
this
the
smaller?
pips,
Damn it.
all the crosshairs,
Oh, no.
so the information
Oh,
of
crap.
your ship on the physical MFDs, and maybe focus on the target information on your cast, so they're always on your view. But maybe when you go
I
to
made a
quantum
mistake.
travel, you can turn
Oh, no.
those casts off, so you can enjoy the vistas.
Sorry.
That's all from me. Now we have MFDs ready, and let's bring Yogi back to tell you all about flying your ship.
Yogi!
Thank you very much.
Right, I can go back up here now.
Okay, at this point, our ship is fully
Just a little bit
powered up,
smaller,
ready
Ollie.
to fly. Pre-flight is complete.
Much
So
better.
Brent, please take off, put the landing gear in, and bring us out. Have you seen the interaction? This is great, isn't it?
Looks
Okay,
awesome.
so one of the problems we always have in space games is to produce a sense of speed. Space is big, and the sense of speed is always produced by small things going around you.
Yeah, I
So
think
although it's
the
very visible
space
here, the
particles,
FX team has
space
actually added
dust.
space dust, so in the future you can
Yeah.
tell where your ship is going, even without looking at instruments.
The space
Another
dust
thing we're
is cool.
focusing on as well is G-force reactions. So Brent, if you could come to a stop for a second.
This looks so cool, this area, by the way.
When your ship is sitting like that, and you strafe left and right, you have these small head motions that basically make your head and your body react to the G-forces they're currently enduring. We're actually increasing them now. We also added rotational G-forces into the mix, so if Brent is now rotating the ship to the left, you also can see that your head is swaying a little bit. Things get a little bit more interesting when Brent is actually taking boost into the mix. So if he,
It's kind of weird that
moves
the
forwards,
ship...
we now added camera shake, we added FOV changes, and this all then plays together with the other things like the other exhaustion effects that we have. So overall, the ship should now feel a little bit more reactive than before.
This looks amazing, chat.
The same thing, sorry.
It looks really good.
At the same time, we reduce the
Look at that, the
extensions
boost, like-
that the look-ahead code is doing. So We basically narrowed it down a little bit so it mixes better with GeForce reactions, so that even when you don't have a head tracker or something like that, it will still feel pretty good. But this is just a minor change. We also improved the flight controls themselves. So take a look at the speed gauge, for example. It's a little bit twitchy today. What that speed gauge is telling you, the number that's currently moving, is what kind of speed goal Brent is actually putting in. If he puts his stick all the way forward, the left one, you will now be able to see and read the number that you're asking IFCS to speed and forward.
So it's like, I want to go to 100 and you're at 70.
Allows us to bring back the sticky throttle we had pre 3.5, where now, if you play with mouse and keyboard, you can press W and S to increase and decrease your speed and let go of the key, and the ship will not automatically come to a stop. Of course, this is all completely configurable, so you can enable that or not if you want. Oh.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Okay, Brent, give me some hard flying now, like Black
Bone.
and all that.
Give me some
okay,
flying.
So another thing we changed in the flight model is that we actually looked at the tri-coding exploits. These are really important for PvP and racing players among you, because tri-coding gives us a mathematical problem that we're trying to resolve. On some ships, when you tri-code, you get actually up to 50% more acceleration. That huge difference actually makes a lot of the ship difference meaningless, so we're cutting back on those. So a first implementation of that is already available in the master mode testing areas in 3.21, I think, but we're improving the algorithm right now so that it actually is less punishing in future master mode builds. This is actually a current version, so as long as you go roughly forward, you get the full Gs.
This place looks amazing.
From your back engines. Okay, so now the biggie in the room. We're talking master modes. Master modes is by far the biggest change we're doing on the ship gameplay. In general, all of your ships will be put into, or will get a master mode setup. And the master mode is affecting basically everything surrounding everything on the ship. The ship itself, the flight model a little bit, but specifically the items and what they do. And there are two master modes we're going to talk today about. One is SCM, which stands for Space Combat Maneuvering, and the other one is Navigation. So let's look into SCM. SCM is the mode that Brent currently has active. So you see the, Brent, can you go into the indication, please, for the master mode? Just point with the mouse there, if you can. Yeah, so this is your current master mode. It says SCM. When you use SCM for basically all the gameplay that is not traversal. So combat, mining,
I love this update, by the way.
For that. You have full access to your combat system. Your shields are working, your thruster boost is fully active, your weapons are working. It's the high performance, high alertness mode that you're in. However, we will heavily restrict how fast we can go. We can go with your ship. Okay, Brent, go to full max speed. So this Gladius on max speed and SCM can reach about 225 meters per second. That might seem slow compared to what you have in the Pew right now, but it's still pretty fast. However, you can extend that speed. Brent, if you just go forward and boost. So the Gladius can extend up to 550 meters per second. On this slide here, you can see the speed spaces we're talking about. So if you just flying around in SCM, which is like the max speed of your ship, you can reach.
So you can go 500 and still have all your weapons.
If you boost, you can reach up to 500 or 550. However, that boost space is not spheric. That means if you boost forward, you reach higher speeds than if you boost backwards. That is really important for space combat maneuvering, or for dogfighting in general, because it discourages backstrafing. It actively actually punishes backstrafing, and it creates more interesting combat maneuvers. The PvP players among you, they basically call this encouragement to closing the gap, which is basically more forward-centric combat, which is much more exciting than backstrafing and just trying to get some shots on. It also forces you as combat players to commit to the decisions you did earlier in the fight. So it's going to be.
What do you guys think about this?
Exciting.
Let me know what you think. I'd be kind of interested in what you think about this SCM nav mode. I love the idea that there's like a slower combat speed and then like SCM, a much faster traversal speed. When you need to fight,
when you want to fight, or when you need to fight, right? The thing with the master mode switches is that they do not happen instantly. They take a while to move over. So we're now going to put our ship into the second mode, which is navigation. So navigation mode is basically the opposite of SCM. What this does, it gives you a high-speed, low-performance mode. Your shields, they will collapse. Your weapons will not be able to fire. Your defensive systems will not be functional, but you have higher speeds. So in nav mode, you can still reach the speeds of what you have currently in the PU, something, I mean, depending on the ship, sometimes 1,000 meters or 1,400 meters per second. But all your regenerative systems, so regenerating the weapon capacitor, your thruster boost, will be inhibited. So this means when you want to go fast, you need to be very, very careful when you want to swap over. So imagine you're in a fight and you want to escape. You should not do it right away, because if you just swap to navigation mode in the hope to flee, you are being left with no shields. And the first thing that will go offline when you are hitting with distortion guns is the quantum drive. And that is important, because the quantum drive will spool automatically up when you enter nav mode, and it will then unlock the higher speeds. So this means when you're in nav mode and you're fighting, you're very vulnerable, so you should get out as fast as possible. Luckily, navigation mode not only allows you a higher speed, but also gives you access to the new quantum travel experience, which we're going to show in a minute.
Oh, I'm so excited to see how this works.
That is nav point that you see there on screen. This is the point where I want to go to and quantum travel to.
5.7
Before we do that, I need to quickly explain what this is about. So currently in the PU, when you quantum travel from A to B, you're actually not really moving. You're going on a spline, and you're teleported in every frame along that spline. So there's basically no meaningful gameplay we can add there. The new quantum travel experience is fully physicalized. Physics is always on, which means when you quantum travel from A to B, you're actually accelerating using our awesome physics engine.
So am I going to crash while I'm quantum traveling?
It gives us a lot more meaningful gameplay we can play with. So Brent will start the quantum travel in a second. What will happen then is your quantum drive will initiate the jump. You will see an effect that distorts the space around you, and you will accelerate forward. During the acceleration process, so this is the time until you actually reach your cruise speed.
Oh, he's gonna, all right.
The ship will experience forces, and you as a player, you're responsible to counter these forces. So there is an element of failure. Okay, Brent,
no.
Let's show that.
I'm gonna fail quantum all the time, aren't I?
And take your hands off.
Whoa, dude, that looks sick. Wow. So he failed? Yeah, so he span out. Dude, that looks awesome. I'm into that, man. What do you reckon, guys? Fire for hype in chat, please?
So what you just saw is basically the failed attempt to quantum travel. Brad wasn't countering the forces, therefore he was thrown out, the quantum bubble collapsed and threw you out. Your ship doesn't like that. IFCS needs 5-6 seconds to recover from that, during which time you're just tumbling, right? And this is not just like dependent on your skills. If you think selecting a proper quantum drive doesn't matter in the future, think again. You want to take care of your quantum drive, you want to repair it and keep it in good shape. So if you buy a cheap one, your travel will not necessarily be faster, but it might be harder. Okay, so Brent show us how it's done properly.
I hope he fails again, just for the meme. Like, deliberately. Honestly, that looks so good. So is he in quantum travel now, or? Oh no, bubble locked. Oh, it's got to be bubble. Oh my word, my catchphrase.
Locked. You can now go hands off.
All right, so now it's doing it. Oh, sick, man.
Okay, so there's a second variant of quantum travel, and this is for short-range jumps. Sometimes you jump somewhere or you go somewhere and you see the next point of interest is like 1,200 kilometers away. We're not going to force you anymore to travel that by hand. You will use a technique called quantum boosting. It's a quantum-based short-range jump for like something between a couple of hundred kilometers to like 30,000 kilometers or so. When you use quantum boosting, the process is practically the same, but the quantum bubble will not stabilize itself, so you need to be hands-on for the whole time, and the speeds are naturally, well, slower, but it's not slow, it's still quantum traveling, right? Okay, so Brent, can you boost to...
So this, you don't have to lock in, you can just go.
Boost. Oh, actually, sorry. Thank you. Okay, so what Brent is currently showing here is, I think I forgot to mention, quantum boosting works in every direction. You don't need nav points.
That's so good. You don't need a nav point. That is amazing. You can just point away you want to go. Genius.
Brent is awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now please boost to reinforcements needed.
Absolutely love that.
So if there's a nav point and you boost, your quantum travel system will pick that nav point to go to.
Oh, that is that is actually amazing.
Welcome to Pyro 3.
Oh, my favorite planet. Thumbnail Simulator.
As you can see, there's a lot of UI happening right now. There's a lot of context there. And this is not an online demo, it's a single player. So that means all these units there, they're friendly and hostiles, they're probably fighting with each other, which is a good segue to talk about AI improvements. And there's one man who can tell you all about AI. This is the man with the nicest legs at CIG. Well, please welcome Diego Marty Mason.
I need to see the best legs at CIG. Honestly, look at what we're looking at here. That looks so cool.
So who's excited to see the new AI changes?
What are you doing? Show us the gameplay.
Hi everyone, as Yogi said, my name is Diego Marty Mason and I am the AI programmer focusing on the fly combat. Over the past year, we've been working on delivering a thrilling experience to the AI encounters. Let me first walk you through our journey. We first started looking at the current AI behavior in the
I wanted
PU.
to see more gameplay.
We quickly realized how uniform fighting was.
And they never showed
and
us
how
the
we were
legs
not
as well.
using all of the tech available to us to make a more interesting experience. We had the foundations, and we wanted to learn more about how you, the players, do your combat encounters in the verse.
Legs.
So we did this by getting combat recordings, analyzing videos, and internal playtesting, where we were hammering each other for hours. It was fun, unless you went up against experienced fighters like they are. Anyway, with all of these data, we started crafting the first prototype, with the focus of bringing that human behavior into the AI brain. When the first version was ready to be tested, I handed it out to one of the best internal pilots in the team.
I got you, chat. That'll keep going for a while, won't it?
So, Yogi, what do you think about my first prototype?
Pants. What are pants for?
It was an exercise of humility. It was an exercise of humiliation. I hated it, and I blame Diego.
So this was due to the AI being able to keep a good range control and a perfect orbit around their target while maintaining a constant firing solution. Come on, it's a computer. We learned a lot from our initial prototype, and it really helped us to define what we wanted to deliver. A combat experience where the AI gets
blocked out his legs.
Makes mistakes, just like
Unfair
us
censorship.
humans. We want players to leave every combat encounter with a feel of satisfaction by encouraging you to keep on the move and make use of the vehicle systems available to you, so you can at least try to win the fight. Let's see how we brought this new iteration of combat to life. We broke down in multiple stages. The first one, interception. Then the main engage phase, which we broke in different tactics. Strafer, jouster, chaser, and finally, disengage.
Nope.
Let's switch to the demo. As you can see, Brent has encountered a skirmish. Let's talk more about the combat flow there.
That's cool. Live demo, let's go.
Okay, we will start with interception. After acquiring the target, the primary aim is to close the gap with the target.
The
If
Buccaneer.
the AI is already near the target, the interception phase is skipped completely. If it's too far, it will tell the AI to use the new master mode to swap into navigation mode and make use of the full speed to chase. Swapping back to SCM mode when we are in a striking distance. That leads us to our second phase, engage. Here the AI selects an adequate tactic based on combat environment. These are chosen via the traits and tactic
This looks
selector
so cool.
system. You've heard more about them in the previous talk by Francesco. So let's talk about the Strafer. As this is a 6 degrees of freedom game, it's the natural combat shape adopted by pilots. We have related the same behavior to our AI, ensuring
Wow.
also that orbits are close and adding variations to include rolling.
Those sparks look
Strafers will
so
break
cool.
combat if they cannot keep an orbit. So now we see how the Hammerhead is being attacked by Hornets. These Hornets are jousters. Jousters consist of performing straying attacks whilst outputting a lot of firepower, blowing through, smooth turning, and repeating. We added variations for the more skilled pilots, like skid roll attacks, that provide a spiral-like flight path. Jousters are also good at monitoring for back strafers, so if they cannot get into strike distance, they will just break. And finally, the Chaser. Now, Bren is going to get there in a second, but the Chaser is going to be the Cutlass, which is following one of the Hornets and is allied with the Hammerhead. Now, we are really far away, 10 kilometers.
Nav mode.
So the Chaser, it will try to always stay on the target 6. The idea is to force the target into a defensive stance by making them turn into the Chaser. This maneuver will be seen mainly in squads and atmosphere combat. The final phase, which can happen at any time, depending on the combat situation, is disengage. This phase is triggered based on constantly listening to multiple events in parallel. To name a few, critical health, damage to shields, or weapons depleted. There is also a shorter version of disengage that we call pace breaks, which occurs during long periods of combat due to fatigue, nature of the combat encounters. These pace breaks are short, and the main objective is to perform a simple maneuver to gain a new advantage position and strike again. This new flow is what encompasses the core of our new AI fly combat experience, in combination with AI traits
sparks.
that will give
It looks cool.
designers the tools to tailor each combat encounter in the verse. Like, for example, they can choose the ace traits that will allow AI pilots to make use of all of the ship's angular velocity so they can keep a more precise orbit. So for some of you out there, it's going to be a good challenge. While we've been mainly focusing on fighter behavior, we've also started to follow the same process to other ship types, like gunships and capitals. In the near future, we want to deliver an experience where going against a capital ship like an Hydrus is a tough fight, that unless you bring the right combinations of tools, meaning ships that are equipped to take down capital ships, you will get demolished by their powerful turrets. Now,
no, it's
after
already
all of
too
the feedback,
hard.
In our first internal playtest, we've received a lot of constructive and positive feedback. And Yogi's not longer being destroyed by the AI, so I think he likes it a bit more. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy the new AI. And back to you, Yogi.
Yeah, I want to obviously experience it for myself, but sounds good, looks good.
Thank you, Diego. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, we heard about how AI makes my life hard. Now let's talk about how to return the favor. We're talking weapons. So, the weapon and aiming systems in Squadrons, they went through a lot of changes. I can only mention a couple of them, so I will go through them relatively quickly. First thing on our to-do list is basically weapon tuning. At the moment, almost all weapons in the PU are practically the same. In Squadron, that's not the case. Almost all weapons have different properties. They have like different projectile velocities, different DPS numbers. But they're not just different in terms of these numbers. They also feel different. Remember the Singe cannons from like a couple of years ago? They were they were very powerful weapons, but they were extremely easy to use, which made them meta weapons. So we're going to bring the Singe cannon back, but we make sure that the amount of work you put into these cannons in order to employ them is on par with the other guns. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to do to make sure that weapons have a lot of pros and cons and avoid meta. Specifically for this build, Brent is equipped with a nose, I think a close and burner laser repeater. Can you fire it once? Yeah. And the other weapon he has is he has 2 weapons on the wings, which are Gets ballistics. Gets cannons, size 3. With one push, they're actually firing 2. So we're also gonna have burst weapons, and so on. Okay, cool. So a problem we have in space games is controlling the engagement ranges, because we want to bring the fights close. But the problem is that
you can fly really fast.
Well, how do I put this? Weapons usually, in order to bring them close, what the game devs usually do is they just restrict the ranges. Like in the PU, a lot of the weapons have exactly a range of 1,400 kilometers, which means often the fights occur at 1,399 meters. This is not a good way for us to control the weapons. And we tried out things like damage fall off, so that bullets get more damaging the closer you are. But the problem there is, how do you communicate that to the player? So we're going to do a couple of different things with that in the future. Let's see when the graph comes on. Okay, so show of hands or show, which of you has an Ares?
Yeah.
Okay, as an Ares pilot, you might know the following problem. You have a target. You're going to aim at it. And then you... this is... What the... Okay, I need to go back. Okay, there's actually some stuff not there anymore, I don't know. What happens when you aim with your crosshair over the pip is that you actually not aiming at the pip. The legacy system gives you a pip which does not show you where the weapon needs the pip. The new aiming system actually produces the pips based on where the weapon sees them and reprojects them on the target. That means the aiming information you're getting is actually much, much more precise. And this is a very interesting, sorry, I said the completely wrong thing.
What? What is happening?
I'm nervous. Okay. Controlling weapon ranges, sorry. I'll do it now, sorry.
The crowd is so nice.
Okay, sorry. Okay, controlling ranges. In the future, all the weapons will get much, much longer ranges. Size 1 weapons will fly to up to 5 or 6 kilometers before the despawn.
We just had on stage 30K.
Wait, the way how we do this is we're adding spread. Because spread is for us is a very good indication on how to control the ranges. This is not a one-to-one relationship.
Public speaking is very hard,
like spread with like 20 degrees offset or something like that. Don't worry, right? But if we compare the spread of the weapon with the target size, we know when the weapon is in range. We know.
I don't understand. He acted like he didn't recognize any of this, and now he's just like talking.
And we're telling you that via the aiming system now. So, Brent, let's go back to the demo. If you get a green pip and a green crosshair, it means you have a high chance of your weapons hitting the target.
Nice.
If Brent takes a little bit of a step back and waits until the pips and the crosshair turn red, this does not mean that the ship is out of range. You can still hit it, but you might waste bullets.
Right, okay.
This also has the benefit that, I'm not sure if you saw that before, but if you look at how many bullets are in the air, you're actually getting a lot of bullets, a lot more bullets, and it just looks a lot better. Okay, Brent, just kill these guys now.
Let it rip.
Bam!
Wait, that was really fast. I think that's just for the demo's sake, right?
Okay, so that was this one. Okay, a thing you might have seen is that Brent is loaded with size 3 guns on size 3 gimbals. That means we're removing the M-1 system.
Yay! We can have bigger weapons. Yeah, before you had to have size 3 gimbals
the
for
original
size 2
intention
weapons.
of like controlling the performance between joystick and mouse players just didn't work out, and the new aiming system is flexible enough to deal with these differences. So we're just removing it and keep going. So, next point, pip grouping. If you have different weapons with different projectile velocities, you will get different pips. Because merging the pips makes no sense for us anymore, because the weapons are going to have vastly different projectile speeds.
Yeah.
So if Brent, for example, enables all the weapons now, you get separate pips. So let's talk a bit about pip optimization.
The problem is you don't know which pip
and this
is
is
which.
the thing I messed up before. Again, who is an Aries? If you aim at your target, you get a pip, right? Your Aries owners know that. You aim at the pip, you shoot, you miss.
He keeps saying Aries, but...
And this is because the pip is not being shown where you need it. In the future, we're actually offsetting the pip where the weapon sees it, and then reproject this onto the crosshair. Like that. And when you then hit, you hit.
Pew, pew.
No, when you then shoot, you hit. And this is, of course, also communicated by the aiming system. So when the pips turn green and when the crosshair turns green, just shoot.
I just don't.
Okay,
I need
so
to know which pip is which weapon.
Part.
Right? How
we
do you
cannot
know?
take down this hammerhead. It's too big for us. But we can cripple it. The weak points on the hammerhead are the turrets. The way we're going to do this in the future is with precision targeting mode. Brent? Enable precision targeting mode? There we go.
What? What is this?
What this does, it does three things. You get this full zoom on the target.
This is crazy.
You get a lower RPM of your weapons, which increases or decreases the spreads for more precision. And you get the painting mechanic. Anywhere where you put your crosshair on that ship, it will tell the gimbal system where to aim at. So if Brent now attacks the turrets, your aiming system will automatically lead the shots.
Oh, that's crazy. I love that. Hey,
Bam.
that's cool.
One turret down.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so
you have no idea how close
This
you are
hammerhead
there.
now understood that it's not good, that doesn't stand a chance right now. But this will be the way how you in the future will fight against sub-targets and so on. The good thing about this, it also works even without painting the
Mad.
target directly, so you can do very, very precise warning shots. And there's no aim assist that kind of like destroys your aiming processes. Okay.
That's
so
going to
the
be
fight's
huge
now
for like
over.
the Ares Ion.
Sorry, I need to rush this a little bit because I messed up stuff before. And we're going to look at Pyro 3. Okay, Brent, switch to nav mode and bring us down to that landing spot.
Pyro 3 is my favorite, I think, so far. What do you
So
guys
Pyro
think
3
about
is
this?
also called Bloom. It's a very big planet with a nice atmosphere.
Bloom. Is that what it's called? Bloom? Did he just announce that?
Oh, something wrong with the throttle? Oh well, something's wrong with the throttle. We'll try to go down as fast as possible though.
He did say the build was 12 hours old.
I said gameplay demo might have bugs.
It's not the worst bug you could have had though. We get a cinematic drop down into
Gonna go there now?
Pyro
Okay.
3.
Yeah, steeper angle, that works. Okay, so the thrusters on your ship, they do not like they do like the vacuum of space. We're talking spaceships here, right? And we have thruster efficiency curves on these thrusters. So at some point, especially the MEF thrusters, they will cease working because they don't like atmosphere. They will overheat very, very quickly. So there's the question: what
Both
happens
Pyro
when
2
you go
and 3
down to a
have names.
planet?
Do they? Okay.
And you want to rotate your ship with your thrusters off?
So this is called Bloom?
Well, we'll see. Can you go to external view?
Oh, screenshot
Can you wag your
simulator.
tail?
Oh, there it is. That's sick.
Okay, back first person. Okay, so what you see here is the new aerodynamics model. Because obviously our left stick is somewhat damaged or so, we can't be as fast as we want. Actually, Brent, can you try W and S on the keyboard instead? Oh, it doesn't work. Oh. No, it doesn't. Yep. Okay. No, the stick is affecting us. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna go down as far as possible.
You know what it
So the
is?
new
I'm
aerodynamic
going to
system
go out on a limb and
is a
say
complete replacement of
on
the
the
aerodynamic
VK
system
there's
that you
little
currently have.
joysticks on them.
And you need,
I bet it's
you need control
configured wrong.
surfaces to actually turn the ship around. It simulates the airflow over your lift surfaces, and therefore, the slower you become,
how
the less
good this
effective those control surfaces will be in order to turn your ship. So we can demonstrate this. So if Brent just sits here and yaws left and right, you will see he cannot go further than that. That is in line with what real airplanes also experience when they're trying to use the rudder to yaw left and right. So what Brent can do here is he can roll and he can pull to actually change his direction.
This looks so good.
Okay, so just for this demo, we added a button. The button is called thruster disconnect, because at the moment in the PU, when you go through a planet, you're using the thrusters to rotate. We're not doing that anymore. So Brent, disconnect the thrusters, please, and put the ship into a purposeful stall. A stall happens when the airflow over a wing ceases, or over a lift surface ceases. And then at some point, you will not have any authority anymore, and your ship will not turn and so on, and you will basically fall out of the sky. That is naturally a state that every plane wants to avoid naturally, right? And this is happening right here. Brent is not able to use the control surfaces right now because the ship is
not doing anything. It's not got a
process of
vacuum.
stalling. However, the airflow will pull the nose back into the wind, and once you have enough speed, he can actually, well, he gets authority back over these control surfaces.
Ah, so cool. It's going to make combat really interesting. I
That
absolutely
means for US players,
love
what you can actually do. You can do aerobraking.
Bloom.
You can do pure gliding if you want to. You can even do like competitions, like, I don't know, like drop ships out of orbit and then see how far they glide. This is all possible with a new system.
Oh, I love this.
So let's talk about the problem. How do you come to a stop now? To come to a stop with the new system, you need to purposefully put the ship into a stall. But don't worry, when we don't have the thrusters disconnected, IFCS will help you. So you're gonna bring down the speed more and more until you're reaching stall speed, which is about now. And then the thrusters will kick in and catch you.
Look at that
means,
for a screenshot.
However, you are now in a state that the thrusters don't like, right? So at the moment we have turned this up, but in the future you will not be able to hold this for long.
Had to save
so
a
Brent, for
screenshot.
example, now from a hover, strafe is left, more left, more left, more left. The wind flow again pulls the ship over, and you go forward again.
Are you guys enjoying this? I think this is so cool.
Okay, so now Brent, now show us how to come to a hover, and do we have some water here? Oh yeah, there's our point, okay.
Like, look at this, guys.
Highway to...
Honestly, I hope he doesn't crash. That would be awkward.
Okay, so there's our landing point.
Screenshot simulator.
Can become a little bit slower. I don't know, 100 meters per second.
Wait, is he gonna try and land?
So we're
in the
trying to
water?
land somewhere here.
He actually is. Why is he going to the water?
Whoa, look at this.
Nice. Yeah, we saw a bit of that water tech yesterday.
Yeah, that water is great. Like, awesome. Okay, so now we're coming to a... so now Brent will try to land with a broken throttle.
So you can't just, you know, like you do in space.
And
Just,
yeah, he's aided a little bit here by the landing gear. So he has landing gear out, I think. Because that automatically enables precision mode at the moment, so that you're a little bit slower. But you can, of course, like turn this off as a player. And then you come smoothly down to a landing.
Oh, I thought we were going to actually get like
the best way to land
a
your ship isn't
runway landing.
decoupled, because you can just like very smoothly land it on the surface.
Look at that.
And clunk.
Even when I'm watching videos, I'm taking screenshots.
And now you're gonna power down the ship using the new interactions. Engines off first. Then we're in the relaxed pose again, as Ines showed before. Power off.
yeah. Power off.
And the canopy off. No, open, not off. Don't put the canopy off.
Dude, that looks sick.
And get out of the ship. And probably go for a swim or something.
Wait, did he say go for a swim?
Okay, that was a bit of a buggy, bumpy ride, but thank you for taking
No, I was just about to take a screenshot.
the time with us.
Damn it, Yogi.
And we'll see you in the verse. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Yogi. Everybody, it's time for lunch. We'll be back around 2:45, so get yourself some food, get yourself some drinks, give yourself some snacks, stretch your legs, and then be back in Hall A when we come back, because from this point forward, you're not going to want to be anywhere else. We'll see you at 2:45, everybody. Take care.
Hype. Oh, okay, right. Guys, thoughts on that flight model and everything? I think it looked incredible. Honestly, that was so cool. I want access to that so bad. It was just like Bloom, the planet, looks delicious. The whole flight thing, it seems a lot more realistic. I don't know. Yeah, you guys are saying it looks more realistic. Genuinely quite epic, I thought. They have to release Squadron 42 release date today. All the features are done. Are they, though? I said this earlier with like the character customizer and the interactions. Like, it seems really polished, you know? It didn't... like, he said, oh, you know, there might be bugs. The build is only 12 hours old. We had a minor... I think it was a joystick issue more than, like, the game bugging. It looks so polished, the animations and stuff. I don't know, man. I think that was an absolute killer of a presentation. I thought that was really good. Guys, if you enjoyed this stream, drop it a thumbs up. We're obviously going to be back very soon. If anyone in chat can let me know when I have to start streaming, because I do not want to miss it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Hope preferably someone in the UK can help me out with the time. But yeah, I appreciate all the likes. Supports the channel. And a special shout out to Tobii Eye Tracker for sponsoring the video. If you want a discount on head tracking, check out that link. 40 minutes. Wow, not long. I mean, part of me is like, maybe I should just stay here streaming, you know? But it's a long time. I'm going to get some food, start up a new stream. So I need to be back in half an hour, basically. Yeah. Power nap. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. I was going to tell you guys. So, yesterday I was, like, running on no sleep for 72 hours or something, right? And someone asked me earlier, did you get any sleep? I got about 5 hours. I'm still tired. I'm having a blast, and that's mostly down to you guys, so thank you very much. Anyway, that was an incredible presentation. I'm kind of blown away, and there's more to come. So get your snacks, get your drink, and I'll see you in about... wait, what time is it? I need to scroll chat. 10:45. Right. So we'll be back in 45 minutes, guys. Stay tuned. That was awesome. See you guys in a bit. Bye.